Alright, welcome back to Swimmer Sync 102. We've got another matchup coming up for you on round 2 of pools. Hydra versus C Drive. I'm Nito, joined by my partner in crime, Pat. How are we doing today, Pat?
We are doing great and ready to watch some more games. And we will be starting on Rainmaker on Museum.
Right, and that's actually one of my favorite map mode combinations in this whole game. Really, because Museum Alfonzino gives you a lot of opportunity for a creativity. You've got lots of flanking. You got flanking routes from your top right, and you've also got options to where you can still cause a lot of damage. The E-Leader's range offers you a lot of options here, and just the width of the map gives you tons of room for creativity.
Yeah, for sure, this map is beloved for a reason. It is awesome, and Rainmaker on it. I mean, I feel like every mode on this map really works so well.
Right, I mean, you really can't go wrong on this stage.
Anyways, what can you tell us about these two teams, Nito? I know you know them.
Well, Hydra actually. Hydra is a team I know has made quite a few alpha bracket appearances. They were in Div 5, so they have a lot of experience, a lot of skill, just ready for them to display here. However, C Drive has been on the rise for a while now. They actually won last month's Gamma bracket in Lowing, so I believe both of these teams have a lot to bring to the table. You've got the more established team in Hydra, you've got the rising stars in C Drive. This is primed to be a good fight, because I feel like both of these teams can take the fight to each other.
Take the fight to each other, they show. I mean, on Rainmaker you can have so much back and forth, and the flank routes can do it for us. And oh, I see like coordinated splash tags on the side of C Drive. I appreciate that. Like, you have to recognize the dedication to the team.
Absolutely, and I hope we're seeing coordinated victory emotes at the end, because if you're gonna go for the coordinating splash tags, you may as well go for the celebrations here. But C Drive in the teal, light blue, and Hydra in the magenta. Hydra going for, actually both teams going for a pretty aggressive comp here. C Drive pulling out the tri-stringer, making sure they still have that anchor, at least that anchor backline ready. And Hydra, I believe, going for a similar approach. However, they pulled out a machine, which is going to give them just a bit more flexibility in terms of offensive power. And you really can't go wrong with machine, especially in this game.
And I love to see that Octobrush going for so much. Octobrush, such a fun weapon, to be honest. My teammate loves it, and we've been getting so much results with it. We love it.
Right, it's one of our favorite, and I believe one of my teammates' favorite weapons too. You'll notice Twig playing a lot of Octobrush, but as I say that, both teams trading a lot of picks. They're going punch for punch here, blow for blow, as they keep trading a few picks. C Drive, oh, what a jump! Nearly made the jump there. That would have been so good, making it to the other grade. However, he did have the machine at the other side, ready to take a blow, ready to take the hits there, but they got up to 38 remaining despite that. So C Drive's in a pretty good position here.
Yeah, with your checkpoint still intact, that's a pretty good first push. Hydra is gonna let the Rainmaker reset, and now it's on them to really pop and get something going.
Right, and they had three specials, they popped one, now they're gonna lose one because they lose the C Junior in the fight. That splashes in a bit of trouble, they go 3 down now. C Drive making quick work of Hydra here.
The up-and-comers are there to win. They are getting so much this game so far, and the Rainmaker already on the platform should be able to get more points, advance that lead, and get more of it, but 2 down. for C-Drive. That should be it. Big of jumps.
Yeah, it's gonna be it for that push, but C-Drive so far in game 1 of this set, proving that that Gamma Bracket win wasn't just a fluke, as they're able to cause a lot of trouble for Hydra here. They're still having to find a response to it, and they haven't found an sufficient response yet, because they've only been able to get up to 83 remaining. You'll notice that C-Drive has almost a wall of, almost the entire thing painted blue. Their entire spinner painted blue, but Hydra's starting to find a few responses of their own, but it's going to take a bit more than that as they do lose one player.
And Hydra loses another player. It's like Hydra so far, they have done like great defending. They have stopped the push, they have really pushed the enemy back and taken control of their plat, but the moment they get to mid, things go bad for them. And things go bad for them again. It's just the T-Tech and the machine right now defending the platform.
Right, they're able to find the picks they need to start their own, to get C-Drive in a very tricky spot as they do here. Both teams going 2 down now, but it's hard for Hydra to find the follow-ups they need. As soon as Hydra gets those openings, they are starting to struggle against C-Drive, which C-Drive has been showing a very, very aggressive offense here, and it's starting to work well in their favor. But it looks like they're going to get stifled here just a bit by Hydra's defense. There it is. The Hydra's defense you were mentioning earlier, doing a lot to prevent C-Drive from going any further.
Yeah, and right now that defense manages to stop the Rainmaker ahead of the platform. That's what you want to see, but now you need to move forward, and with one player down on the side of Hydra, with 40 seconds left on the clock, Hydra needs to really push forward and get these picks, or they could just get wiped out.
Oh, things are not looking good for Hydra here, just getting out of a wipeout. C-Drive still sitting in a sea of teal ink, as they might be able to just basically create an impenetrable wall against Hydra's offense here. Hydra having to find the responses, but they don't have enough territory, nor do they have enough firepower to do so, as they keep losing players to the picks from C-Drive. Going down at 2 seconds remaining, no one's popped the Rainmaker. That's going to be game 1 going in favor of C-Drive.
Yeah, C-Drive really getting the aggressivity and getting the points off of that aggressivity. Really good on team fights in that middle of the map. Really, mid was theirs the whole game.
Absolutely, and when you're fighting against, when you're trying to play against a sea of ink like that, it's really hard to find those openings there, because when your opponent has control over most of the territory, you struggle to find the openings you need. I believe what Hydra might need to be doing here is playing just a bit more, not a bit more passive, but a bit more patiently, because when you have yourself in a situation like that, you have to wait for your opponent, you have to wait for your team to get a pick, and I noticed I noticed that they were trying to coordinate their specials there as well. However, you can't do much with it if you just don't have that opening for your team.
Yes, you have to create that space and maintain that space for yourself so you can use the specials and move. But C-Drive right now, so good at going forward, taking every small weakness and winning almost every fight for the center of the map. And if they go at it, speaking of center of the map, Brightwater Springs.
Oh my goodness. In a map where it seems like the center of the map takes up about 70% of the entire map, and you can't help but mention it, so I see where you're going for there.
Yes, we'll be seeing some Clam Blitz, and again, Clam Blitz, like, you don't need one big push, but lots of small pushes, getting control of a bit forward on the enemy territory. If C-Drive manages to repeat what they did on this game 1, this could be very, very good for them, and Hydra needs to find something new, something to counter that.
Yeah, and you notice in the earlier set with Sheer Cold getting that push to 11 remaining right off the start. It's very crucial that when you have an high-powered offense, as C Drive did in that previous match, and what they showed in that Rainmaker game, when you have that sort of offense, you almost want to make sure you're implementing it here, because with Clan Blitz, it's almost the same as Rainmaker, where you're taking control of the pace of the objective, but now you've got a bit more coordination to do with the power clam and clam numbers and all that fun conversational stuff that pretty sure is going to make the chat boring, so we're gonna head into game 2 anyway.
Game 2 is starting, and Hydra bringing a 96, so he's C Drive. Everybody wants a piece of that Kraken for Clan Blitz, I guess.
Right, Kraken's all the rage nowadays, especially when you notice that Kraken, just very little you can do to counter it other than just get the heck out of its way, because again, there's just nothing that can do much against that Kraken. There's no knockback, so once you have a Kraken like that at your disposal, you're able to do a lot of damage, but it looks like C Drive doesn't need it. They've got Hydra 3 down now, having to work on that power clam, but they got a bubbler up. Might not last too long as it goes down fairly quickly. Two players go down from C Drive fairly quickly. They are able to get one extra clam though, so they will be above the threshold, but they do get wiped out.
Yeah, and we saw C Drive wait to use that Kraken for as long as they could, but the moment they really had the opportunity to use it, the whole team was down, and it was just the 96 trying to escape, and a little too late. You can't really hesitate right now, and that Kraken is going in. Speaking of not hesitating, that Kraken is gonna maybe give the jumps in.
Right, and I noticed in the Twitter clip earlier, that's what you want to do with Kraken, because then you can get all the jumps you need. But one thing I noticed when Hydra made that push there is that they left their teammates way back at the basket there. That's going to cause a bit of trouble when you're trying to coordinate an offensive attack. So Hydra's still able to control things on the defensive side. They are now 3 points away from tying it up, and they do get the few more picks on the board. So Hydra might just be starting to find their footing here.
Yeah, so far both teams have just opened dynamic basket and not gone much further than that, but Hydra wants more right now, and the Kraken is going to pause that. Oh, you missed the clam right now, it's just the 96. Again, 96, you're late to the battle, get away and go protect your own basket.
Right, that's a good job of backing up there, making sure you're not losing more than you can afford, especially when you've got the lead in your hands now. Of course, with Clan Blitz, you can never be too sure of that lead, especially when you've got only 7 points up on top, so you gotta be a little bit more careful here, because with Hydra, you've got a pretty good defense on your hand, but you still want to be very careful against it, especially against a team like C Drive that just knocks out 3 of your players.
3 players knocked out, a Super Clan at the ready for C Drive. This could be a very big push if they manage to get these 2 balls in. An unbound juggling and getting the prize. Oh, and another 3 Super Clans put in for C Drive. Now this is a push.
Oh, things are looking very ugly. They just need 1 clam to end the game. They just might be able to sneak that in. Hydra now coming in 3 deep from the front of the basket. Still need 1 player to take care of the brush. Is still causing a bit of trouble for him. Has to back up there, but that is a very damaging push from C Drive. Down to 1 remaining. Hydra's going to have to think very hard now about what they want to do. They can't afford to play too defensively, even though that's one of their specialties. You have to start playing. You have to start playing for the win here, especially with a minute left on the clock.
I think it's the first time I saw a push where 1 player is just jungling 2 Super Clams and still getting in like patiently. Oh yes, I have all the time to bring these 2 Super Clams by myself. That's the level of control that C Drive has put so far in this set. And Hydra, they have gotten control of mid, they have gotten super clams of their own, and they are looking to get in.
Right, and they just might put themselves in the right spot to do so, but as soon as I say that, 2 players go down to the brush from C Drive. 3 players now. It's all up to the to a Tenatech to see what they can do, but they're having to face 4 players now coming down the ramp, or coming up the ramp, and there's the Kraken there by surprise, runs straight into it, might not be able to take it out like that. That's not going to be able to do quite as much as they would like, but they do get a power clam, and they just need 1 more power clam, and it's not quite enough. They stop him there. 10 seconds left on the clock. This is Hydra's opening here.
Yes, but Wipeout is going to give Hydra a last opportunity to score, but they need to score so much. These 2 balls are a good start. They need a few more clams, just 6 more clams will do it.
And the Kraken there, they had the power clam ready. They still have a few more silver clams in there. It's all up to the Tenatech to see what they can do. They have 1 more clam there. They have to get the jump, and the jump's gonna start to come in. Will they save the day for Hydra? They missed the power clam! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're a Hydra fan. My goodness.
That super clam just a hair away from the basket, and that would have been the craziest comeback from Hydra, but C Drive keeps it, stays in there and wins this round 2-0, but there's still a game 3, and Hydra, they have shown that they can take it from them, and they are ready to try again on Wahoo World.
Yes, it's not over just yet. Hydra still has another chance to shake things up for C Drive here. Splat Zones on Wahoo World, but man, oh man, I just can't stop thinking about it. But now I've just started. I just realized if they were to get this sweep, we can actually start calling C Drive Sweep Drive, which I think would be pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, but what a game, what an end to the game, and both teams so close from a KO. And like just a showing that every pixel matters, every frame counts, and you can still win the game. Just push with your team, find the picks, find the clams, because two more clams or 1 ball and would have absolutely changed everything.
Right, you can't help but you can't underestimate the importance of clan management in a game like that, and especially the amount of offense that goes into it, because Hydra didn't have that big of a push until the last second, but enough about that. Let's go ahead and move on to Game 3, Splat Zones on Wahoo World. I think we may be in for another tight matchup here, as I think Hydra's defense is going to start coming into play here.
Yes, for sure. Your defense can do so much on this mode, and if you manage to push the enemy away, get control of top mid, then it's just defense, and you can, with 1 push, really keep control of the zone eternally on this map.
Right, but especially with Wahoo World, once they have a little carousel of their own, and you can actually do a lot of damage with a flank, especially if you're not watching it. The thing people underestimate about that glass flank is that the thing with glass, you can't exactly paint it, so that's not something that's easily visible on the map, but we're going to see how both of these teams play these out. C Drive in the blue and Hydra in the orange. Hydra opting for a very Frank meta-heavy comp. They actually got the Firefin, or sorry, ZF, bleh, whatever.
The Zekofin?
Sure,
it's a Firefin. It's a Firefin. It will always be a Firefin to me.
Dang right.
And C Drive takes the zone right away, but Hydra takes it back from then, and now they are in pretty much control. And now we see Hydra really getting the picks, and that's the Hydra we wanted to see until now. Finally they woke up, and they are showing C Drive that this is not going to be an easy one.
Absolutely not, especially when you're going against a team like Hydra. They're starting to pop out a few specials, making sure they maintain that lead. Starting to notice now, they actually have that double Ink Strike now. So that's going to start to cause a lot of trouble, making sure they still have the paint on their side. But it's not going to do you much good if you go 2 down like that. They still have the Sloshing Machine, and I believe the Junior, or Firefin, it's just a Firefin at the ready. They're going down to 25 remaining, though. C-Drive, I think this may be the first time in the game where C-Drive is starting to find themselves at a disadvantage. They're starting to go down to 10 remaining.
And Hydra, as you said, like, once they are there, they have the defense to stay there, and that's such a quick KO.
Hydra can be happy with themselves, because they were a hair away from winning this round.
C-Drive doesn't quite reach Sweep Drive, as Hydra is able to put a stop to those plans. And as I said earlier, that Hydra defense showing itself, proving to be very effective there. So with Splat Zones, you can't go wrong with Hydra. There is still a lot of potential, especially what we saw in Clan Blitz with that last second push, the way they're able to quickly coordinate something like that. So definitely something to look out for from Hydra, but C-Drive proving yet again that Gamma Bracket win wasn't just a fluke.
Yes, and both teams got their own game where they were dominating, and that one game that was so close, well, C-Drive got the 1 point that mattered, I guess, and congratulations to them, they win this one.
And speaking of winners, we're going to see a few more coming up at the next round. Stay tuned, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Going into round 3 of groups. I think we've got the best for. I think we saved the best for last. We've got the Gorillas and Duck and Cover facing off. I'm Nito. I was joined by my co-commentator Pat, who suddenly disappeared due to things well beyond our control and well beyond the physical realm. So I'll be taking over for a short bit while Pat comes back from the quantum realm. And as I say that, the Grillers and Duck and Cover, what more can I say about these two teams? Lots of history between them. You'll recognize some of the names from Duck and Cover. I know Swampy for a fact, what used to be in Symphony. And there's a lot of history behind the Grillers too. Two of the most decorated mid-level teams finally facing off in what I believe to be an exciting matchup heading our way.
Hey, I'm back.
And it looks like our co-commentator Pat has returned from the quantum realm. How was it?
It was so dark. I felt so alone. Keep me company, Nito.
I sure will, as we are back into the physical realm, getting ready to watch what is set to be another high action-packed game. Heading to Game 1, Tower Control, returning to Hagglefish Market. Like I said, both of these teams have a lot to bring. I think one thing I'm going to be watching for sure, Devi, well known for being the Hydra Mom, pulling out the Hydra here, and they also have a roller one trick on their side on Sigurd. So I want to see how that's going to play out in this game, because as I said earlier, there's a lot of opportunities here for a flank.
Yeah, the good thing for the Grillers is that you can't really prepare to fight the Grillers. They have a Hydra, they have a roller. You're not gonna find many teams that you'll be able to screen that have these two weapons at the ready.
And you know they're gonna play together well, and you don't know how, because there's no way to prepare against that unless you screen the Grillers themselves.
Exactly, but with Duck and Cover too, you still have a highly decorated team. I don't remember the last time I saw Duck and Cover in competitive. Mainly, I don't remember the last time I saw them. I do remember though that I believe they have one of the really wide open weapon pools, so I think they're able to pull a few things out here. I'm not too sure. Might be thinking of another team, but as always, chat is always here to correct me, whether it be in a constructive or a deconstructive way.
Chat is always right, except for 99% of the time.
I will be starting with Tower Control on Hagglefish Market. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this map mode, because I love Hagglefish and I hate Tower Control.
Oh man, and to be fair, with Tower Control on Hagglefish, especially when the tower path takes up almost all of the ramp, you have to kind of dance your way around it, and as we're going to see both teams see what they bring to the table. Devi with the signature Hydra, Sigurd with the signature roll, and the Grillers in teal, Duck and Cover, and the magenta pulling out quite a few shooters out there with the E-Leader too. You're going to see a lot of familiar weapons there in their pool.
Lots of familiar weapons there indeed, and I mean, Devi is an experienced Hydra player. They know that a matchup, a Hydra versus E-Liter, is usually not to the advantage of the Hydra, and we'll see how Devi will be able to counter that.
Nice little trade there off to the right of Devi. Both teams trying to find the opening here. With a weapon comp like this, you know for sure it's going to be a neutral battle, because when you're playing a Splash or even a Siege, you don't have much to compete against a Hydra, especially with a really rapid fire rate and a really rapid time to splat. So you don't have quite as many opportunities on the table, but when you have a very aggressive comp like Duck and Cover, you're able to try to attempt you're able to poke at the enemy defense right by the side there. Sigurd, though, able to shut that down fairly quickly as the Grillers get things going with a minute off the clock.
And Devi is going to ride that tower to the checkpoint. And right now it's on the Grillers to make as many points as they can, as Devi is, well, keeping the distance with Snow Crab.
Right, and that's the best thing to do with Hydra, but it's not going to be enough. Crab makes quick work of Devi. They're taking care of the Hydra. Takes care of 2 players now. 3 down, as Sigurd is going to have to back up here, try to find something to do here, and try to make sure they aren't getting up too far, as Duck and Cover finds a really quick response to it. But they did leave the Grillers up to 30 remaining, so we're going to see what Duck and Cover does here to respond, but they're going to need a faster response than that if they're going to go lose a player that quickly.
Lost a player quickly, but Duck and Cover still with the squid advantage. And they should be able to ride the tower after this Booyah Bomb has denied it. But right now the Grillers, they managed to get rid of a second checkpoint, and that checkpoint is so hard to get rid of. I mean, on your first push, that's pretty good, and right now everybody is going back to spawn.
I did notice a bit of teamwork there from the E-Leader and believe the splash on Duck and Cover, working to make sure that 2v1 ends in Duck and Cover's favor. However, the rest of it is still gonna go to the Grillers' favor instead, as they go down. They take 2 players down from Duck and Cover. Sigurd now waiting for the drops there. Is it gonna be enough though? It's gonna be the E-Leader that finds that pick, and it's gonna be up to them to try to stop this push from going any further and losing more than they need to. As Snow Crab, they're trying to go for a bit of a cheeky flank. The Booyah Bomb comes out to stop that, and it looks like they're gonna try to put an end to the Grillers' offense here.
And right now the Grillers are right in, and it's E-Liter is trying to go Splattershock mode, but you don't have that on an E-Liter. And who's got the tower? Right now it's just a fight. They're ignoring the tower and just fighting, I guess.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of fights here, and I believe this game, it might just be this whole set that's going to be decided in fights, because both of these teams are very good at taking on 2v1s, and Duck and Cover are able to pull out that coordination there, as you're seeing right there with the Ink Strike, and with the E-Leader, a little bit of improv having to be done there. But the Grillers have some successful players who are able to take 1v1s on their own. That might not be a good example of what I'm saying though. Boshin goes down, and Duck and Cover is going to keep the Grillers at bay for now.
Duck and Cover getting some breathing room. They should be able to at least contest mid, but right now with 40 seconds left, they need something big, and 2 players down on the side of Grillers. That should be the opportunity that the Duck and Cover have been waiting for.
Alright, but they do lose 1 player in the exchange there. They're going to have to be facing that blue, that lots of teal on the other side here. Sigurd trying to go for a 2v1 here, trying to make things happen. Not quite enough, as they do yet again. That teamwork there by Duck and Cover proving to be very difficult for the Grillers to overcome. Devi's going to have to back up here, try to find another opening, as Sigurd doing what Sigurd does best, waiting for that opportunity, tries to go out against the E-Leader, gets that pick. Both teams going down 2 down. Overtime is going to run out. That game is going to go in favor of the Grillers, as we nearly watch an Inkling or Octoling getting crushed by the tower.
And with a Tri-Strike and a Booyah Bomb at the ready, you can shut down really that final push. Good game by the Grillers. That's game 1.
Absolutely great job there by the Grillers. They know that Duck and Cover has the ability to take on lots of teamwork there, make those 1v1s very quickly turn into 2v1s and make those in their favor. But what they do is they send Sigurd out there to try to disrupt that, make sure they take those 2v1s on purpose to make sure they know where duck and cover is going to be. So once they know Sigurd's going to the left, they make sure those 2v1s are going to the left. The Grillers take care of the rest, and I believe that's what got them the win here. And I want to see how it plays out for them here in Scorch Gorge on Game 2.
I mean, that's the power of starting with one big push. Is once you have that big advantage of 2 checkpoints for yourself that the enemy hasn't taken, you can just make sure that everything is a trade and the enemy can't really push forward. And with Sigurd really ready to punish and Devi maintaining the fort, you can have like that consistency in defense that really is going to shut down everything, even if like neither team really pushed that much after that first push by the Griller.
One thing I like about the Grillers is that since this team has a lot of history behind them, you may even remember a time when they used to reside in West Broadway. This team has a lot of history behind them, and even though their roster may look different to what it looked back then, they still know what to look for, especially Devi. With years of experience behind them, I think the Grillers are starting to use that, especially with the 2v1s action I mentioned earlier. So great job there for the game. Great job there from the Grillers. However, we can't count out duck and cover just yet. We noticed that 2v1 teamwork there, so I can't wait to see what they bring here.
Yes, and for Rainmaker's Scorch Gorge, a push can happen so much faster on Rainmaker than tower control, so that slow, long defense that we saw from the Grillers is probably not gonna be enough, and both teams, I guess, are gonna try to go faster into it and make as many points as they can.
Right, and we're going to head into Game 2 right as we're talking about it. The Griller is going in the neon yellow greenish and duck and cover in the purple. I think that's actually a pretty exciting lineup here from duck and cover. They pull out the double link strike. The Grillers opting for something similar to what they've been playing earlier, keeping that roller, keeping that Hydra as per usual, but they've got the double splash there. That's going to be... The splash is almost a household name in Splatoon 3 now.
Splash is a household, and I'd love to see a Tri-Stringer on the side of duck and cover. I feel like that's a weapon that can do so much, and that's such a good counter to Crab too.
Popping out all the specials here, making sure they have just what it takes to put it stops to that Griller's offense. And they did do pretty good, decent job of it, but they've kept the Rainmaker for so long. At the very least, what they've done there is make sure they drain time and make sure the duck and cover isn't getting getting as many opportunities to pull the Rainmaker. But as I say that, they pick up the Rainmaker, they do pop out a few specials. That Ink Strike doing a little shimmy before it gets deployed, but that's not going to do. Actually, it might be doing just
it's
enough.
A 1v1.
It's a 1v1 against the T-Tick and the Hydra. This is going to be a really interesting 1v1 there. That Crab wins very easily. And it actually goes down as well. The Grillers are still 3 down. They might be able to take the checkpoint here if the Splash is able to say anything about it, which they do, taking out the Rainmaker before it breaks the checkpoint.
What a crazy scuffed grumble attack. That almost got the checkpoint for duck and cover, but right now the Griller are back in control of the Rainmaker and ready to paint all their side of mid. Is already yellow, I see. Devi's advancing to mid and trying to take that space with the Hydra that is so menacing. If the Hydra is walking towards you, you know that things are gonna get serious.
One thing I like about the Grillers comp here is that they opted to go for as much paint as possible. Not only is it giving them territorial control so they can make big pushes like this, you can make it actually break through the checkpoint. It's actually enabling plays like that where Sigurd can go in and cause a lot of damage for the enemy defense. And when you when you're facing against a sea of your enemy's paint like that, it's very hard for you to find those openings. So great job by the Gorillas here, but it looks like Duck and Cover is starting to find the response they need because they've got a few players on the ground. Ziggurat trying to go for a few more points. They go down to 49 remaining now.
And these points could be the difference between a win and a loss, because past that checkpoint things can get so dangerous so fast, and quite a punish on the Hydra from the Tri-Stringer. You always like to see a nice snipe.
Oh, absolutely, especially with that Tri-Stringer there. The arching device, the archery device for many Inklings in Splatsville. And as I say that, they do take a player. One player from Duck and Cover goes down. We're going to start to see a bit of Boshin here, trying to find some sort of opening, but it's going to be very difficult when you're at a numbers disadvantage, and especially when you're the only one on the map for your team, as Boshin's going to try to sneak around Shark a little bit. Wait for another pick, wait for another opening as Crab starts to approach.
Yeah, just staying alive and maintaining presence there is what allows the Gorillas to get back in without allowing a push from Duck and Cover. Duck and Cover, they still have to take that checkpoint, but we've seen them move forward. We know that they can do it, but right now it's Devi with the Rainmaker getting forward and making the plays.
Yeah, the Hydra Mom, they're becoming the Rainmaker Mom. They do get a few picks with the Rainmaker, but they're going to start... The Gorillas trying to make a few more pushes down through the enemy territory, as they want to make sure if they leave the Rainmaker down there, they're at least leaving it to where they still have to make quite a journey towards the other checkpoint. As Boshin here trying to... Actually believe Boshin here trying to extend the amount of time they have with the Rainmaker, but they do get a few more points up the board. Going down to 31 remaining, extending that lead, getting a few more points on their board with an assist from the Curling Bomb. A great job there. Now Duck and Cover is in an even bigger predicament.
Duck and Cover finding the little sneaky one. Oh, one of them. And now with overtime, Duck and Cover needs such a big push, and needs it now.
Right, you're playing in overtime. Half of the overtime clock's already run out, so you've got to find a push very quickly, especially when you still have to take care of the Rainmaker. Oh crap, they're going for the triple, does get 3 down. Time is quickly running out for them, though. The Booyah Bomb comes out. Have to back up just a little bit to make sure you don't get knocked out by that Devi there. Really close, too close for comfort there. Still in overtime, still time for Duck and Cover to make some sort of a push. Ziggurat now trying to go down the middle, down the inside, making sure to get some sort of play going there. The overtime clock's reset though, so it's still Duck and Cover's game here.
Duck and Cover, they cannot lose that Rainmaker.
On the roller!
Rainmaker good.
Oh!
And it's just Devi on the side of the Gridders right now, Dreaming Zack dodging another Booyah Bomb. This is the second Booyah Bomb we've seen in that overtime. They are staying alive. This is not over. I don't know how much seconds are left on the Rainmaker, but...
Oh, they're rolling down the inside. They're already watching the left side. Are they watching the left side? They do! Not quite enough, though!
This is as sweaty as it gets. But these points that the Gridders got right before the last push, this was forced really Duck and Cover to refine everything, but because they knew that just moving forward and trying that a suicide push would not be enough, they needed something sustained. And the Krillers made that last. They knew they had the time, they knew they could make the space, and whew, what a game.
I love the patience there by Duck and Cover. They knew the Grillers are gonna try something sneaky there, especially when they have Ziggurat on their team. Going for that, using those curling bombs to try to find the opening, but Duck and Cover just seem to have an answer every single time, especially after the Ink Zookas and the Booyah Bombs. That overtime lasted about as long as the Godfather trilogy, so that was an incredible job there by Duck and Cover. Unfortunately, though, the Grillers are going to take that game away from Duck and Cover.
But Duck and Cover are not over. They have shown that they can put up a fight, and they will try to get a game off of these Grillers on Clamblitz Museum.
Clamblitz Museum, and I think we're just gonna see us. We saw a clinic here on knowing when to, or the art of flanking and the art of being that sneaky type player. Because the Grillers, you saw a lot of the splashes sharking. You saw a lot of Sigurds trying to sneak up there with the paint and with the curling bombs. So Duck and Cover, now that they have that knowledge, though, now that they know. Because surely this isn't the first time they've played the Grillers, but this certainly isn't the first time they've played it here, so they at least have that knowledge of what the Grillers are going to try to pull off here.
Yeah, and if you have a sneaky roller putting a big bubbler right under your basket and is there to defend it, that's worth 2 Krakens, honestly. That can do so much for your team. You can make a sustained push from a super jump in that bubble.
Absolutely, and when you have a highly decorated Hydra main in Devi that just knows when to pop the specials when you need to, and not just the casual GG. And I say Hydra, there's the heavy. Congrats, Devi, you proved me wrong. I just commentators cursed myself. So hats off to you. Duck and Cover in the orange and the Grillers in the blue.
Devi showing us the range of splatlings that can be used. And Sigurd is already on the enemy plat, taking the fight and taking a pick and taking 2.
Man.
What
oh my
start.
Goodness! Oh god.
Don't blink, it's not even 30 seconds and 40 points have been fallen.
The splash too!
What? What is this?
Oh my goodness. Wow, that I believe is probably the fastest. It has to be a world record, right? We gotta call Guinness, the Guinness Book of World Records at this point.
What a crazy way to open. Oh, how do you open? Well, we score 40 points, 50 points. Not a problem. Yeah, you have an E-liter, that's great for defense, we don't care.
Oh my goodness, the Grillers don't care what you pull out because they said we're gonna mess with it anyway. And as I say that, Sigurd's gonna try to make a move down to the 2 players there. Isn't quite able to get something going there. They got the 3 players in the Grillers, 2 of them in a tricky spot. They got 2 down now. It's all up to the Splash to try to find a response or at least try to shake things up for Duck and Cover. It has to back out, but they do have one Barrow Clan ready. They do miss that jump, but they're able to get themselves back up. Probably not just in time because now you have to face a 4v1 there, which is a fairly tricky situation, especially if you're an E-liter.
Yeah, pushing alone as an E-liter is really a good idea. And Tim will move back, keep control of mid. Duck and Cover, they are still alive in it. They are getting the control, but Sigurd getting through that, stopping the ball. Is Sigurd on their plat? Yep.
Oh my goodness, Sigurd, you're doing such a great job there. You don't even need a Ninja Squid at this point. You're just gonna sneak up there whenever you feel like this. The enemy territory is your home now. But as I say that, the Grillers actually go 2 down. You've got two of the shooting weapons now. The V-Shot and the Splash now, having to find some sort of a response. Not quite able to do it on their own. Swampy here having to pop off the Ink Strike and try to get a few picks of their own. Sigurd though able to take that down fairly quickly because I feel like that was a flank from Crab in the making.
Yeah, right now the Grillers, they let the map be yellow. They don't care. Sigurd just needs a few trails to get the jump on people.
Oh man, that's That's really funny. And I was talking earlier about how the Grillers are very good at keeping their territorial advantage, but I guess they don't even need that at this point. Because I think they're just trying to start to play a little bit more in terms of let Sigurd do whatever Sigurd wants, and the rest of us will just kind of we'll play from there. This Sigurd there is waiting on the slick there for a pick, isn't quite able to get it done though. I think hopefully they're starting to catch on to this because Duck and Cover still needs to find a response to avoid that Griller sweep.
If you don't know where Sigurd is, just look in the corner of your eye and you're about to die, by the way.
Oh.
And the aggressive moves by the heavy. Getting away with it. And right now, Duck and Cover, they've had control of mid. They've had mid painted yellow for most of the game, but they have yet to mount a real push because all they've done is 20 points, and we know that they could do much more.
Yes, but when you're fighting an offense like Duck the Grillers, you may not be able to find a response that quickly, but as I say that, Crab table to take out Devi. They're trading a few picks here. It's all up to the E-leader yet again to find some sort of response, but they're going to have to back up, wisely doing so. Sigurd coming in for a jump, and it might just be another push that goes in favor of the Grillers as the Crab is able to take out at least one player before it dies down. Might have to take it on 2v1. That's a very tricky spot for him. But now they have a power clam. Now Duck and Cover has the chance to find one more push in them.
One more push, but right now it's Grillers that is pushing, and that ball is gonna get cut off by Sigurd.
Oh!
And
It's gonna be a wipe!
Well, the Grillers, they are showing the money. That was a commanding 3-0, and what a game by the Grillers.
Oh my goodness, when you're playing against a player like Sigurd, and I remember you were saying earlier, if you don't know where Sigurd is, just look at the corner of your eye. What I think is, if you don't know where Sigurd is, it's too late for you.
Yeah, it's too late.
Oh my gosh, that is an incredible job by the Grillers, but we have to commend Duck and Cover for spotting those advantages, or spotting those flanks early on, I believe they're starting to catch on to it by the end of the match there. They're starting to catch Sigurd in those tricky spots, and they starting to catch on a little bit more to how the Grillers are playing in this, how the Grillers were playing in this matchup. So we can't count out Duck and Cover just yet, but the Grillers are going to be the ones taking this set.
Yes, for sure. Duck and Cover made themselves alive, kept themselves alive. All three games, they were ready to. They were just one good push away from really taking back. But Grillers so good at just making sure that never happened.
Oh my goodness, what a way to end pools. And with that being said, we're going to be heading over to Top Cut very soon. But first, we've got a nice little announcement for you. In fact, we've got something to show y'all real quick, and it's going to be NYC's biggest Splatoon 3 local yet, the Big Dapple 2, happening April 1st, 2023. This is no April Fool's joke. We've got a big one coming for you, all of you NYC Splatoon fans. It's one of the biggest NYC locals at the Brookland Esports Lounge in Bushwick. 16 teams showing off in front of a live crowd. You can come in and watch, you can come in and hop on a free PlayStation. You can even grab a mic and head onto a couch cast. A lot to explore here.
Yes, I've heard such good things about this place and such good things about this LAN. I'm so glad they are coming back. And if you are near New York around April 1st, you should definitely be there.
Absolutely. Can never state just how incredible a LAN experience is. It's just one of the most fun things I've ever been to. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, We'll be providing you the best of the best in Top Cut. Don't change that channel, we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 102. We're getting ready to kick things off here in Top Cut. We've got yet another exciting matchup on the table for y'all. This time is going to be Tatsugiri 2 versus, and luckily I can speak a bit of Spanish, so I can actually pronounce this right, Miedo Terror Ozuna. I'm Nito, joined by my co-commentator, Pat, and we've got, this is going to be one of the best ways to kick off Top Cut, actually. You got two very highly skilled teams here. I think some of the best this game has to offer.
Yes, indeed. If times for groups is over, it's only the best of the best, the top teams of each group that has made it there. And these two teams, they are ready to duke it out on a classic of all maps, Inkblot Art Academy Splat Zones.
And you'll notice that the team on the right actually has a few members from... This is going to be a Axalt, I guess quote-unquote, pick Axalt +1, because apparently that's not the real Ozuna, despite the fact that their name is also Ozuna, so we're going to call them Ozuna regardless. And on the left side, you actually have quite a lot of talent in that team, a lot of familiar names, a lot of familiar faces, and these players are no stranger to the competitive scene. I've seen them go very far in huge tournaments, and again, they've been such a high presence in mid to top level Splatoon, so I think we've got ourselves a pretty good matchup in the making.
Yes, and as teams are getting ready, I mean, look at these logos. Tatsugiri going for the cuteness, and Miedo Terror Ozuna going for the terror.
Well, I mean, I can't tell what that is. That's,
I'm not sure I want to tell what that is, if I could.
Yeah, I feel like if I say its name, I'm going to be awakened by some sort of terrifying being at 3 AM, so I'm going to leave that at that. Tatsugiri, though, going for the, I don't know what that is, and I feel like I want to just say fish, but I feel like there's a specific name for it, and it appears to be asking me whether or not I'm the gay pride flag emoji.
I think Tatsugiri is a Pokemon, except now it's a gay Pokemon, which makes it better, obviously.
There we go.
So this is Great White. This will still be best of 3, and right now we are in a single elimination. But both these teams are ready to handle the pressure. And we'll start on Splat Zones.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams, again, no stranger to the competitive scene. Axalt coming off of the recent Lugi season, out qualifying for Division 2, so hats off to them. I believe they've got just enough experience there, and so they have had the ability to play against top level teams. And when you have players like Lit Blue and Baja Blast on the other side waiting to get a crack at you can't help but think we've got what it takes to take them on. So I can't wait to see what both teams bring to the table here with Splat Zones, Inkblot Art Academy. And lots of opportunities here. The one major change you'll see is that one little stack in the middle, and that also provides a lot of opportunities there.
Mm-hmm. And we will see what these teams are about to do with it. And with these comps, we see Tetras with the Firefin Charger, and meanwhile the Nautilus ready to be the backline for the side of Tatsugiri too.
Yes, the Hog Rider taking a break from all the Clash of Clans action to come out and play for Swim or Sink. But as soon as I say that, the Tetras go down from the side of Tatsugiri, the other... I want to say the full name, but I won't, so I'm just going to keep it at Ozuna, just so we can give Ozuna the credit, even though they're not the real Ozuna. But they're going to take a few hits here, going one player down, taking a 2v1 on the right side, and that's going to give them a numbers advantage, but Tatsugiri right now taking control of the zone. Actually got 2 players down now from Ozuna. So now they're going to start moving themselves up. They got another player down, and they are going off to a wonderful start here.
Tatsugiri already initiating the lockdown. The Tetra getting right in, ready to take the trade and delay as much as possible the answer by Miedo. But right now it's Crab versus Crab, and the Crab from Miedo seems to get the best of it.
Absolutely, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. They still have another player to take care of there. Tatsugiri has their number so far. Ozuna's still looking for the opening here and doesn't quite get it. It's all up to Albert and Spets to do something here. Albert and Spets, ball's going down. One more player left to take it on, and now it's up to Rotsiv, the Charger main, but they're under a lot of trouble, especially when you're looking down the sights and see 3 shooting weapons aiming right back at you, and Tatsugiri taking it in a very clean match there, leaving no points behind for Ozuna as they go straight for the KO.
Tatsugiri not wasting any time, commanding game 1, and this was all about aggressivity, and we love to see it. Tatsugiri really getting in, shutting down the enemy Tetras and getting the best out of their Tetras. And that's the perks of having a Nautilus instead of a Charger. Yeah, you can move forward much faster when things go right for your team. And Tatsugiri taking a commanding game 1, but this is not over.
Miedo Terror Ozuna has a chance to get back in this set on Makonaut.
And you can tell they were anticipating that sort of aggression in their comp, because when you pull out a weapon like the Charger, you kind of expect you come in with the expectation that they're going to start playing with shooting weapons, the Tetras, weapons that give you lots of mobility to cause some damage there. So when you have a Charger, it already outdoes a Splatling in that it's much faster in its damage output and much faster in how it's able to deal that damage. But apparently this was just too much for Ozuna, so we're going to see how they make those changes, how they're going to move on from that, take on tower control Mako Mart.
Yeah, Tatsugiri, when at some point the zone was neutralized, and Tatsugiri, they were 1 player down compared to Miedo, but they managed to seal the deal. It was like Miedo just was a hair away from taking the zone from themselves, from taking control, but Tatsugiri really managing to keep that control, re-establish and keep really Miedo Terror Ozuna from sealing the deal and getting back control. That was such masterful, and using everything you have at the most of it.
Absolutely, and again, you just have a lot of talent on Tatsugiri. Lots of history behind those names, so you really can't go wrong in saying that this team is going to be that one that comes out on top. But we can't count out Miedo Terror Ozuna just yet, as they still have quite a lot of experience behind them, and they're gonna pull out just the same comps we saw earlier. And Tatsugiri responding with the Knot Machine and the Splash, thinking the Knot's gonna come in to switch things up a bit. Thinks maybe the two Splash, 2 Machine was a bit too much, so we're gonna switch things up just a bit more. Good on them for that. So we're gonna see how that plays out for them.
Yes, Tatsugiri opening with a delayed wipe and snowballing it as much as they can right now. It's just the Nautilus, but Nautilus is going forward. Well, that's a way to defend the tower, I guess.
I mean, there's no better way to do it when a weapon like the Knot allows you to move just as much as it did there, especially with the charge shot. You're able to do a lot of damage just like that to Miedo Terror Ozuna as they're able to get a few picks off of that team. Actually, you can see Pelu there giving a bit of a shark, trying to make sure they can still deal that damage. They haven't noticed them just yet, especially when you got the paint on their side. But now they got 2 players coming down to that territory. They do take both of those players down. One more on Albert, and Albert goes down as well. It's all up to Spets to see what they can do with the Crab as they head towards the second checkpoint, and they clear the second checkpoint.
Yeah, they clear it with very little resistance from Miedo Terrorozuna. Miedo is so busy dealing with all the chaos that Tatsugiri is unleashing, and that's another very quick KO. Commanding win by Tatsugiri.
Oh my goodness, and it ends, and their tournament journey ends just like that. Because when you go against a team like Tatsugiri, I mentioned it once and I'm mentioning it again, they just have so much experience behind them, and it results in outcomes like that. Having a team full of some of the best that top level Splatoon has to offer, you can't go wrong in saying that that team just might have the advantage there. And since it is a best of 3, the matches ended just like that in the favor of Tatsugiri.
Dear viewers, welcome to Top Cut. No mistake is allowed, and Tatsugiri will go on to fight Duckies in the next round.
Absolutely, that's another exciting matchup heading your way. But as for us, that's going to be it from our end. We're going to take a quick break, bring you top 8 from the Great White Bracket. So, I'm gonna be on Nito Splats in Twitch, Nito Unused on Twitter, and you just might catch me in chat because I am going to procrastinate a bit more on my homework. Pat, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PatAutumn with underscores in between, and it was a pleasure to commentate with you, Dieter.
Of course. I love the commentary scene, and especially all the people I get to work with. Pat, you did a wonderful job tonight, and of course, there's a lot more coming your way. We got a fresh set of commentators heading your way as well. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with Top 8.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Top 8 for SOS 102. I am G7, joined by Weef. And Weef, this is the first time that we've been communicating together.
Yeah, we were talking about how we always take the mic from each other, but we never actually interact. But here we are, and we're going into a very exciting match. We're going into a team that needs no introduction, Cherry Limeade. Very classic fan favorite team versus Tropical Coconut, which is a pickup consisting of 2 members of Square Up, 2 members of Sia, and the other one.
Yeah, Hitchbot's just chilling out there. But yeah, this is a great showing for their pickup of Tropical Coconut, making it in a top 8 of SOS. And with our expanded format, and like so many teams, 64 teams in it, top 8 is nothing to scoff at. Cherry Limeade, this is not unfamiliar territory to them when they do play in SOS. Top 8 is something that when Limeade has got the sauce cooking in the kitchen, it's them. But we know this is a team that can be competing with NA's best one day and then somehow nowhere to be seen the other day.
Yeah, classic teams. But we're gonna go right into it. No time to talk. Like we said, Cherry Limeade versus Tropical Coconut. We'll see what they're running here.
What? When does Limeade ever play with anyone else than the core 4? They are literally a core 4 team. Having
never before seen.
Lux, I love Lux. They're awesome, but wow.
They're running a very acceptable amount of run speed up on their heavy spelling. But speaking of, they're running a heavy spelling. They're running that Tri-Slashing Nuvo, the 96L, and the Neo Splash. So overall, a comp consisting of most of the new weapons minus the heavy. But already they're 3 down. Oh my god. Tropical Coconut moving it incredibly fast here. Already breaking Cherry Limeade's basket here. And scoring quite a few more in, and with the specials that are going out, and Luna having their ever so famous Zuka, it looks like this push is going to keep going.
Yeah, Luna Zuka is just insane. Facing it in solo queue, facing it in tournament, it's something crazy to see. And Tropical Coconut, they're rushing down all the way down to 35. This is crazy. Hika's able to get around, get some good sloshes down, and hopefully slow down this push as the brush is going to be falling there. Delta is still trying to throw clams in 26, and I believe this jump will 100% be camped. There is another jump in coming in from Jade. Finally, a wipeout. A minute in and all the way down to 26. Do you think Limeade comes back from this wave?
I mean, it's certainly possible considering how good of a team Cherry Limeade is. It's not out of the cards, and they're not going to give up just yet. But it's going to be very, very difficult. But that first pick is going to make the way. But it looks like, I think that's Krim on the 96L that just went down there. And now Cherry Limeade are 2 down. It looks like they are kind of struggling to come back here in mid. There are picks going out here, and the heavy is pushing further and further up. But once again, the ever-mentioned Luna Zuka gets a classic pick there.
Ooh, and the Zip Caster was able to dodge the Kraken. Jade with the amazing work on that Spider-Man to get out of dodge. Lily not rocking any splat bomb up in at all. On this Neo Splash is going to run in, get the power climb dunk, and probably find another spot here on that jump in. The tactical cooler is out. More clams are coming in for Cherry Limeade. That's going to be Pika and Krim falling at the basket, just leaving Lily and Lux last alive. Finding a way out for Tropical Coconut will be difficult, but I think that this basket should close as soon as Lux goes down.
Yeah, Lux there was very forward position, and if they weren't so focused on getting clams, and they could have held that for a bit longer. If the holding power of a heavy is absolutely insane, but that does mark the end of their push, and they only get it down to 62, which normally would be a decent push here. But when you're facing your opponents having a lead all the way down to 26, it's not quite enough, and so they're gonna have to really keep the pressure up and go for some more of those in order to take this game back.
Top mid is under control of Cherry Limeade, and a lot of the map falls with it. When you get that heavy spotting up there, you feel invincible. Trust me, I know, and I've never ever played a weapon on this map that isn't heavy spotlight on this map mode combo. It is so good. But that Trizuka is going to be coming through and taking Lux out. Lupul's on that brush is also going to get Pika down. That's 3 down, just leaving Krim. Krim with that Kraken is the last alive, going to be able to defend this base. It's going to be very difficult. The power climbs are starting to come through. Tropical Coconut, but the basket has not been broken. Krim, I think, stalled for just long enough to make this push a little bit weaker.
And yeah, even though Tropical Coconut is 2 down, it's only Lux left alive, and the Zipcaster is going to be putting a lot of pressure on them. I don't think they're going to be able to put any more clams in, but they're just being absolutely, pain to deal with. Lupul's going in, unfortunately dying, but just their Tropical Coconut still has all the control of mid that they need to just stall out Cherry Limeade for as long as they can.
That was honestly great from Crim to slow that down just long enough, as Lux is going to get pincered from the top ropes by that brush, just stalling out again. Both teams don't really want to like concede much points at all, but I think Cherry Limeade, with a minute remaining, they got to make some risk, take some risk now.
Yeah, it's it's the really hard decision of, do we go for something really risky here and try to get that lead, or do we play more slowly? But if you lose that power climb, overtime is not going to activate at this point. It's a little bit difficult to make a climb. Not impossible, but the time is ticking. We're approaching the 30-second mark here in a little bit, and Cherry Limeade doesn't have a lot of mid-control to show for it. Lux just went down. Looks like Lily also just went down, and Crim also. It's 3 down on the side of Cherry Limeade, 4 down. That's a delayed wipe, and Tropical Coconut is pushing yet again, and are rapidly approaching that knockout.
I don't feel like the knockout's going to come through, but they're just holding this basket. They're not letting Limeade get that power. Wait, hold up. This game might be over before we think. The power climb is coming in, and they're going to go for the jump. And Tropical Coconut, against all odds and against all beliefs, come up with a knockout against Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, I would consider that a little bit of an upset here. Obviously, the set's far from over, or at least, we have 2 more games potentially to go through, but that's not something I personally expected to see out of this matchup.
I gotta say, seeing Lily not on a spot bomb weapon and seeing Lux in is something I never predicted from Cherry Limeade at all. It is not seeing Shiny play is a little bit crazy to me, but I understand why if they have Lux on their roster. I know Raze is also on the roster, and I don't think Coach Raze is going to be coming into play today at all. Shoutouts to my SSC podcast brother here on IPL, which is no longer on the air at the moment. But I gotta say, heavy on Scorched Clams, I really like it. But I would like to see Shiny come back in.
We're having the Splatling brain connection. It is really good, but unfortunately they weren't able to make it work. Tropical Coconut was so aggressive throughout the entire thing, going for Lupul's on the brush. I think I saw them going on a few nice flanks there, getting just forward aggression, just not letting Cherry Limeade get any mid control at all.
No, and I'm looking forward to what this. First of all, I should probably go back. The biggest counter that Lux had, I saw, was that Zuka. The Zuka was just too much to handle. And going to a map like Flounder, Heavy doesn't have as much of a dominance on Flounder as it does on Scorch. It is still strong, so we'll truly see. But I feel like Luna really cracked that game down, and I know with that Tri-Slosher, if Cherry Limeade brings Pika back out on that weapon is so disgustingly strong here.
Oh,
so that could be a big advantage for them.
Even before the good Tri-Slosher kit, we still saw high-level teams playing it on this map. But it looks like we're going to see a Krakon roller, which is super interesting, and Lux is going to swap out from the Heavy onto a Nautilus for a bit more aggression here on this. I guess it could be considered a more aggressive mode.
Yeah. It's a much more mobile weapon on these walls. Heavy, you can't shoot when you're going up the walls, unlike Nautilus, which this map is just completely walls.
Yeah, I mean the charge hold's definitely pretty powerful here, and we already see them making good use of it. Unfortunately, going down, but putting a lot of pressure on the enemy zone while they're at it. Looks like Cherry Limeade is going to be 2 down right now, but zones on this map take absolutely forever to actually get ticking down. So we're not really seeing anything too much happen here, other than Tropical Coconut getting their first cap and starting to tick down the timer.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Crim can hold on with this gal, Jade and Delta. Actually, Delta goes down to Pika, and that's going to force Lupul's back as the Kraken is coming through, and Crim gets another one. Pika's going to try and go in and find Jade, but it gets taken out. If Jade can get a lot of work done on that Sultana Stamper, that would be really good, but it's in a firing squad. Cherry Limeade coming across the gridding and going to be capping off those zones.
Yeah, but once again, stall fest here. Cherry Limeade does get the zone back. Gonna be taking down their timer even more. I don't think they even lost Modir. And we see Lux going absolutely crazy on that Nautilus, getting 2, and the rest of their team finishes things off. And looks like Cherry Limeade is gonna be filing into Tropical Coconut's court there and making it oh so hard to get back out. Flounder, once you get into a lockout state, it's so hard. You don't have many options to move, and all of them are facing against low ground.
You got a Crab who's on low ground, you got a Zipcaster, which is the only thing left alive. It's going to be taken out. Cherry Limeade looking so dominant. Lux with that Cloud did so much work. We're looking to be in the final fight territory, I think, for Tropical Coconut. They have to get out through these Tri-Strikes. Lupul's going to go down. There's a Kraken coming up from Crim, trying to find Delta, trying to find Jade. Gets assist on another team. I think that Delta's going to be able to sneak 2 zones, but will they have enough time to get up that wall and pin it? Jumps are coming through. Crim is going to help shut that down. The 2 jumps are in. Crim's going to punish that, and the zones will tick over for Cherry Limeade, and tying up this series 1 apiece.
Yeah, the pick comes from the Stamper, but a little bit too late. Not much you can do past, like, 5 points. Just like, okay, well, past short of a miracle, nothing is going to get this zone cap back in our favor, even on a double zones map. But Cherry Limeade proving that, you know, Scorch Gorge might have been a fluke. Certainly dominant from them. I'm interested to see how this last game goes, considering how radically different these 2 matches were.
This is tight because like one was a slap one way with a knockout, the other one was a backhand slap by Cherry Limeade. Tower control is in Inkblot Art Academy. It's so much different than how Scorch Gorge plays, and so much different than how Flounder Heights play. I feel like this could truly be a toss-up. On paper, both these teams can be competitive, but I don't know. I don't have the answers here, Weave.
Like I said, like, I mean, coming into this, like, of course, all the members of Tropical Coconut are very powerful, very, like, good, well-respected players, but Cherry Limeade is a very well-established team. And I didn't expect Tropical Coconut to take game 1, especially not how, you know, with the KO. And so it's shaken up all of my expectations. I don't know. Left is not left anymore. Right is not right anymore. I'm flipped upside down. I don't know. I also don't know.
If you look outside, if you can see outside, do you see the sun?
I mean, to be fair, it's night.
So, all right, there. We're on the same northern hemisphere here. Then. That's,
okay.
You're not truly upside down as DJ.
I am seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
Don't go too far. Don't go too close to that.
I'm thinking a little bit too deep into this. I think all of the upsets here are making me a little bit woozy. But speaking of things that are making me woozy, this next game is gonna be an absolute I was gonna say doozy, but that would rhyme and it'd be a little bit awkward. So anyway, this game is gonna be good. We're seeing the Knot make its triumphant return. You know, they worked last time. Y switch off of it, and the Stamper as well, returning from the side of Tropical Coconut.
Yeah, I do like the comp swap ups. Going back to the brush, I think helps because the Crack-On Roller didn't get as much value as it wanted. Tropical Coconut have lost some members, and Cherry Limeade, they're going to be pushing the tower. Crim trying to find Lupul's on that brush, but being a little bit too evasive. And yeah, the 96 skill can't land its shots all the time when it needs to. This first checkpoint, though, should be easily taken by Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, the Tri-Strike's coming out, so is the Rain. A lot of specials swinging this push very heavily into Cherry Limeade's advantage. I also see the Tacticooler come out there. Looks like Luna is not going to get a chance to use her signature Zuka here. As she gets picked off, but it's only Lupul's left alive here. Cherry Limeade, a very, very good push from them. Crim already, you know, just completely up there with a Kraken being a absolute nuisance, making it, you know, hard to push in. They're not going to, that route isn't going to be a viable option. Lupul's also trying to make their way in, just try to break through their offense at all. And that's going to be a wipeout. What the hell?
Pick against 4! People want this game over! Tactical is ready for tower. Cherry Limeade, they might be able to get some drinks on this tower. Coming back in the series all the way down to 1. Pika gets 6! Can Pika get 7? No, finally gets shut down. And the wipeout comes through at 1 point. I think Cherry Limeade was partying a little bit too hard and couldn't get that knockout through.
But, ladies and gentlemen, the game is not over. Notably, Cherry Limeade did get wiped out here, which does give Tropical Coconut a fantastic opportunity to push back in here and get, you know, maybe the redemption. With 2 down, it's going to be really hard to retake mid, but they're getting some picks of their own. Specialty growing out, picks are trading. It's going to take a bit, but I can definitely see this going back in Tropical Coconut's favor if they play really well.
Yeah, they're gonna have time. They have 3 minutes on the clock, so that is workable. There is room to make multiple pushes and multiple attempts, but it's gonna be a long, hard road. They're gonna have to survive that Kraken, which is going out from Grim. Looples is trying to make their way up to this top left. Has that Killer Whale, sees too, but they're gonna need to help their team because they're getting absolutely plastered in the back line.
Yeah, unfortunately, pushing that far forward left their team a bit vulnerable, and all of them went down while they were trying to push so far ahead. They didn't quite distract them as they wanted to, and Cherry Limeade is back on the offense, but maybe not for long. Jade over here pushing in with the Stamper. A lot of contention over this area where the checkpoint would normally be if they hadn't broken it earlier. We do see, these members are going back in. Krim and Pika already back on the plat, playing super, super fast and making sure that this is going to be a push to, they want to end it. They don't want to risk anything.
No, not at all. And Pika's going to go on this top up. Going to get taken out by Jade. That's 2 members down. That's Krim gone as well from Limeade. The push is still coming through, though. Tropical Coconut are trying to find their picks in there. Jade's able to find Lux on tower. Finally, able to push this tower back, but Cherry Limeade, they're okay with losing the push that deep in the enemy's plat, because that's an easier defense for them.
Yeah. Once again, mid is up to contention. Picks are getting traded out. We're not, these teams are kind of, shaky. Or, Tropical Coconut is trying to go on the rebound, getting a lot of paint down in mid, and they have a good amount of control, especially with that pick on Krim that they just got. Looples is going to get the chance to move up and distract, not before going down, though. Looks like this push is they're still just, really struggling to get a push off. They'll get mid just fine, and then suddenly their members will go down. That's a delayed wipe, making it so difficult. It's just they're struggling to get anything off the ground.
Yeah, Lux just showing off the power of the Nautilus. It's honestly, if this weapon gets a kit, like a good kit, it's over for all of us.
It's over.
And for somebody that used to play this thing, it will be absolutely over for all of you in solo queue. I hope you know that. But besides that, here we are on final minute in this game. Tropical Coconut need to make it all the way from 97 down to 1. They had 3 minutes on the clock to get some more points than just 3, and it's taken them way too long to find anything.
I think we might be even seeing a little bit of panic from them, maybe not playing to their best, because, you take a game off of this team and then you get stomped in return, and it's like, oh, well, now we have to prove that first game wasn't just a fluke, and now the stakes are on. And speaking of the stakes being on, the stakes are on for Cherry Limeade to start defending here. They are being pushed pretty aggressively here. Looks like they are, once again, though, going to take the defense pretty well. The checkpoint is going to be broken here, which is very good for Tropical Coconut, but it's not going to be taken without contention here. 10 seconds left on the clock. Will they be able to make something out of it?
I don't think so. I was gonna say Lily definitely use their tri-strikes a little bit early, but it's okay because the rest of their team is there. And Cherry Limeade, I think they like pina coladas because they do be drinking them now.
Yeah, cracked them open and drank them through like a little bendy straw. Stuck a little silk umbrella in there for good measure. That first game though, I still am reeling from how well Tropical Coconut played that first game. Yeah,
they played so well. I felt like it was the brush plus the Zuka, which cracked it down. Every time Lux stood top mid, there was a tri-Zuka shot just being pelted at them. And when you lose your main backline utility and you've got a Tri-Slasher and a Gal who want to jump to that heavy because they are using the buffs of that Tacticooler, it really puts Limeade in a tough spot. And we saw that multiple times that Lily was just like the last one alive. That's A-okay if you lose game 1 and you bounce back like Limeade did it for games 2 and 3. But oh my goodness, that 6K coming out of Pika at the end of Tower Control, that was great.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't KO, or that would just been like the cherry on top, just getting a 6K into the KO. But ooh, looks like that next match is gonna be spicy.
Yo, and I think we're gonna take a quick break just to set everything up in the lobby and get everyone in there. But I know Smoothie is ready and waiting, so you won't even have a chance to get yourself a drink because our match will be coming up real darn quick.
Yeah, you'll want to see this. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Swimmer Sync. I'm Weave, joined by the wonderful Genie, and we're getting into a very, very interesting match here in top 4. Do you want to lead? Do you want to introduce us?
Oh, I don't know if I can. It's gonna be Smoothie versus Cherry Limeade. The two, I gotta say, the two best drink teams in Splatoon history. I feel like we haven't had any better, and I've been here for almost 8 years of this game. So
I mean, like the niche of drink teams it's a small one, but I mean, yeah, these two have risen to be the cream of the crop, if you don't mind the drink pun. Smoothie, Cherry Limeade, both that's great teams.
I don't feel like we have to introduce either of them because Limeade have won their fair shares of SOSs, but Smoothie, I feel like they've had the more decorated wall or trophy shelf, if I may call it that, in the more recent SOS appearances.
Yeah, but looking at these maps, this is going to be certainly a interesting set. We're starting out on Rainmaker Undertow. Genie, do you have any particular thoughts on this stage? It's a controversial one, I think.
I feel like it is controversial because it's Undertow's best mode, or mode combo. And Undertow as a map isn't all that great, but Rainmaker is something. The right and the left paths, we could talk about them all day and every day. It's a fast-paced map, which can really slow down over by the uninkables, whether that be on the right side or the top left if you're on the attacking side. So, yeah. I would like to also add that in my DMs, Lily has officially said that this is an official date between Smoothie and Cherry Limeade. We are now in a dating simulator. We have left playing Splatoon.
I mean, it's really questionable to bring your first date, or not your first date. This is far from their first date.
Oh, yes.
It's questionable to bring your date to a sewer. But I mean, a museum and a springs. That's good dating material. Hopefully we'll see them make it to the grand, the finale of their date in the springs. Hopefully we'll make it there.
Yeah.
But
more like a honeymoon at the springs.
Yeah.
And we are going to be seeing both these teams rocking out with something that we're not too unfamiliar with at this point on in the tournament, with Lux being in the playing for Cherry Limeade today.
Yeah, we do see Cherry Limeade has quite a bit of range over Smoothie, but Smoothie has very aggressive comps. And now, in typical, they're being very kind to each other as you do on a date. They're, holding the door for each other, going pick for pick, but it's going to be Cherry Limeade that pulls through and is going to break, get there really, really far and break this first checkpoint less than 30 seconds in.
Yeah, Lily, they just went up there and dunked it. That the Triceratops going to be out on the balloon. Is balloon going to be able to survive? No, and that jump is probably going to be camped as well. Lily's going to try and pop that Rainmaker, but not in time because the teammates weren't there to support them. Smoothie is here and is ready. And the newest member is here playing for Smoothie tonight.
Yes, indeed. And already the specials that they had built up are going to be popping out. The Crab Tank, I believe, did they get shredded pretty fast, actually? Along with the Tri-Strikes, tried to make them an opening, but Cherry Limeade, slams the door in their face and is still holding mid pretty triumphantly here with a few specials ready on their own.
The Tri-Strikes and the Booyah Bomb are going to be countering each other for space. The other team really wants to find too much. The checkpoint has already been broken, and Banana's going to be able to push in. Pika goes down, 3 go down the side, Cherry Limeade. Dan comes up clutch with that Zuka shot, and Lux, the last alive, has to be forced back. Smoothie's going to be running this Rainmaker all the way to that opening pedestal. I feel like this dunk is all but secured.
Yeah, they basically, Lux there backed off, There's not much they could do. Pika, what the hell? Going absolutely off tonight, getting so many picks, just absolutely destroying on the Tri-Slosher, and already Cherry Limeade are going to be running it yet again here. Going to be a lot more contested than last time, but already they're starting to break new ground here, getting a few more points on the board, unfortunately going 3 down before they can make it much further, but that was fast.
Whatever Pika had for dinner or lunch or what they had to drink, because we're in the drink bowl here, I need some of that. Need some of that juice. And Krim's going in with the Kraken. I feel like Krim is all but gone here. Yep, bye-bye, Krim.
They just had a smoothie to drink, clearly, by the way they slurped them all up over there. Already, though, they're still holding mid pretty well.
We've been sus on stream. GG.
Don't worry about it. I phrasing. You've gotten me all shaken up. I can't.
See, this is why we haven't commented together yet.
This is it's too much. It's too much. What is also too much is Cherry Limeade's aggression as they get a full wipeout on Smoothie. Gonna be able to take that to the fullest advantage and start pushing over this Slick with the Kraken, getting it all the way to 16 points. They're still there. The push is not over just yet.
Yeah, I feel like it is all but done unless Lux can get a whole bunch of jumps in. Trying to throw that Rain Cloud down is going to get forced out by that machine. Those machine sloshes are just going to be a little bit too much. Balloon's going to get pressured out here by Lux. I wonder if they're going to fall. Nope. Aya comes up clutch with that that splash and the crab tank and follows up with another splat as well.
Yeah, Smoothie is definitely on the up and up again. Special's gonna be coming out. That Booyah Bomb's gonna try to create an opening as well as the Zuka. I don't think the Zuka exactly gets a pick, and Krim is still stalling out that corner there with the 96 Cal, or at least was. You know, it's a big scrap over mid, and Cherry Limeade once again coming out on top here. Gonna go for another push with only that shot left alive. Not able to do much by themselves.
Yeah, Dan just gonna try and throw a suction bomb, stall us out just a little bit. Krim's trying to find some space down on this low side, and Lux, I believe Lux went down to like a suction bomb, because that fizzy bomb definitely not in range. I don't think it was definitely in range at all. Get that splat. This is a great spot though if you're Cherry Limeade just to stall at the Rainmaker.
Pika continuing their rampage, which has been stopped, thankfully, for Smoothie. But the Rainmaker gets picked up right before it resets, and Lily is just gonna run it. A lot of the team members are behind. They do push up to 7 before they go down, eking out just a few more points. But that's just another measure of the continued pressure Cherry Limeade has had over Smoothie this entire game. And Pika, still on a rampage, gets the Rainmaker before going down. I think that was either a double or a triple there. They're on something tonight.
Limeade is, but we have to remember they kind of got absolutely handled in the first game last set, but they're handling Smoothie this time. I wonder if Smoothie's gonna have a bounce back like Limeade had last set. That's what they're kind of gonna have to hope for if they don't get this overtime miracle. And with that Kraken out, I feel like this is saying GG to game 1.
Yeah, it's technically not over yet, as Smoothie does get 2 down on Cherry Limeade and are going to have the opportunity to push up, but without that checkpoint to reset the Rainmaker timer, they're going to have to move kind of fast here. It's that really awkward balance. If you want to take a Rainmaker push, you know, you don't want to take it too fast, you want to actually have the resources, but also you have a timer taking over your head, and speaking of that timer, they're already halfway down.
Yeah, they're halfway down. That Rain Cloud is out, going to stall it out even more. Suction bombs and anything else being thrown at them. Cherry Limeade trying to do their best, and here comes Krim on that Kraken. Balloon's gonna have to stall out, but Pika comes through with Krim. The great combo tag team, and Cherry Limeade takes game 1 of this top 4 set.
Yeah, first date, you know, Cherry Limeade taking them to the sewers, and, you know, we're gonna leave the sewers very shortly because they made pretty quick work. Not quick work, but very consistently strong work of Smoothie there. Didn't end fast. It was a full-length game, but it might as well have with how well that went for Smoothie.
Yeah, and looking, I was in Liz DMs and 16 splats. I was thinking Pika was gonna have more because, and that's exactly what Lily said. Only 16. That's not something I expected because every single one of those 16 spots were extremely high value. Would have thought there was going to be at least some more there with the assists of the tactical.
Yeah.
What crazy damage Pika got done. I want to see with that tactical cooler go off on Climb Blitz. It can go off on Climb Blitz. It can go off Rainmaker. It can go really hard on zones. Tower control is probably the weakest mode, but another Climb Blitz map with another tactical cooler, and a really good tactical cooler weapon at that, I feel like Limeade has definitely a little bit of an advantage going into the Climb Blitz game, especially with the range.
And on Museum getting that plat, if you get a tactical up on the plat and get some of your members set up, it's gonna be pretty good in terms of securing the area in front of it. I'm glad we've seen tactical make a resurgence here with the weapon that's actually good having it.
That's all it needed.
Yeah, it's certainly all it needed. We saw it. Everyone was thinking it was gonna be absolutely game-breakingly broken. in the first days of this game, and then it was like, okay, this thing's actually not that great. And now we're seeing it again, and it's really fun. It's really fun to watch because it just elevates the pace of gameplay. It's just it's a well-designed, fun special.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're seeing it back.
It's balanced. It's
balanced.
It's balanced. We thought it was going to be like when we heard about it originally, we heard instant respawn, maximum run speed, maximum swim speed, which wasn't true. There's a lot of things about it that we heard that weren't actually true when we got our hands on it, and then also the fact that its best weapon was the M-Zap, which is not really a fighting weapon, and Dapples had Beacon. And then who else really remembered about the other tactical weapons? Let's straight up be honest.
Going into this game here, we see obviously Pika, is gonna return to the Tri-Slasher. You don't stop cooking with that thing. But Lux is gonna go back from the Nautilus to the Heavy, and I mean that's a pretty good play here. Heavy and any long-range weapons on this map are gonna absolutely destroy.
Any map that E-Liter likes, except for Moray Towers, Heavy also likes. That has been truthful in every single aspect, every single game of Splatoon.
Except if there's an E-Liter on the enemy team. Then you don't like it very much.
True, but there is no E-Liter on the other team, which makes the Heavy so good. And the tech! Go to the tactical cooler, bait the entire team over there, and jump out because you have an instant jump is phenomenal, Lux.
On this specific date scene, we're seeing Smoothie make the first moves here. They get a ball in, but they are 2 down. It's uncertain here on whether they're going to be able to make anything out of it. But with one of the last members of Smoothie going down, that does look like the push is going to be over. It was fast for them to get up there, but they weren't able to make much of it when they could.
Yeah, at least they got a lead. Because you never know how a lead will go and how the game will go. A lead is a lead, no matter how small. I haven't had to pull that line out in a couple of months, but it used to be an old staple, and I think this lead is all but washed away. Cherry Limeade comes up with a wipeout, and those respawns, they are going to be able to come through. Lily's going to get that dunk, more clams will follow through, and the lead will swap through. Krim is going through with that Kraken. Lux is trying to hold this jump in, and that's going to be Pika. Pika's actually in a wrong spot to throw it. Lux is going to try and grab the power climb, and they're not going to be able to grab it either. Krim's lost alive, and those 96 skill shots aren't able to go through. I can't help but think that Cherry Limeade truly dropped the ball and Smoothie spawned.
They got a little bit nervous. I mean, even though you've been on a lot of dates with somebody doesn't mean that you don't still have butterflies in your stomach. And they fumbled the ball, which is just very unfortunate. And now Smoothie is having the chance to make a nice strong rebound here. They're getting continuous picks. That's going to be 3 down. The only member left is that Neo Splash, who is pretty far back. Pika is going to be coming back out here. The Crab Tank is going to be pretty oppressive in terms of not, letting them do anything with it. Already 2 power clams, actually 3 if you consider the pity on the map. 2 members of Cherry Limeade down. This is setting up to be a pretty nice push if they can make it.
Yeah, and Lux doesn't know where to look. There's just too many players that they want to shoot at, and it's something you kind of struggle with the Heavy, and you're just going to get obliterated by the burst one. These regular clams are just coming through from Smoothie all the way down to 29. Strike, Zuka out. Lily gone. Cherry Limeade, they're getting dismantled right now. There's 3 clams coming through from Smoothie. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the basket in time. Beelbum is out. The basket is going to get hit down again, and Dan is last alive, finding Pika in mid, but my gosh, Smoothie, what an insane dent in a Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, it looks like Cherry Limeade might not be feeling Clamblitz tonight. With that said earlier, and now this one, of course it's never over until it's over, but that's a pretty strong lead to have to push back from. They do have all their specials online, which we are going to see get popped here, but Smoothie still has a very strong presence in mid. That Crab Tank is going to be enforcing that control very, very well, and although, the backline is still up, it looks like they might get picked off here as they get collapsed on. So that's Cherry Limeade being forced back basically to their plat, and Smoothie is getting another chance to apply a ton of pressure.
Yeah, that's Haya trying to stay alive through those charge shakes, doing a good job at that. They're really close to making a power climb, which could really put a massive damper on Cherry Limeade. And oh my goodness, that one charge fizzy bomb from Pika. It's exactly what they needed done at the right time. And Krim through with the Kraken, gets 2. Lily is gonna go down. Wow, what a great job from, I believe it was Banana who shut that down. Krim's gonna try and push through with his power climb with Lux at their back, and I don't think that they will. No, get shut down by Haya on the splash. More power climbs are in for Cherry Limeade. They want to go in, they want to push this bracket, and they will. They hit the top ropes. You got rimmed on. Get rejected by the rim. What happened there?
Genie taking his turn to be sussy on stream as as we go back in here. Cherry Limeade is not able to get the balls in. Somehow they are just once again feeling nervous. Butterflies in the stomach on this wonderful museum date. That was, I got, commentators curse without even having to say it. As they were pushing up, I was preparing to say, like, this might be where they take the lead back, but with just how hard they were not able to get it here. I mean, with only Lux left alive, forced to run forward to escape from the Booyah Bomb, that looks like that Power Clam is gonna die very, very soon, and that's gonna be overtime. It might not be able to make anything out of it. That's gonna be game 2 going to Smoothie. We are gonna see this date take its way to Brightwater Springs after all.
My goodness, you start out down in the sewers, make your way to the art gallery, and then you go to the springs for the what? I was gonna say, how do we have later undulator as the thing? We're talking about a date here. I can't do this.
Get undulated on.
All right. Anyway,
I feel like there's an innuendo in there somewhere.
Somewhere. I gotta say that Climbers game, it looked so good. As soon as they got control of the spinners, it was over for Limeade. Lux was just trying to hold down the backline, but it's hard to hold down a backline when you have no frontline who's alive in front. I gotta say that is not something a heavy truly can do. You wanna shoot at everything possible, and yes, it can get done, but sometimes in tournament modes, it can get a little bit crazy. And I know Lux is one of the most experienced backliners in Splatoon history, being here since like pretty well the beginning, and even players of that much experience, that the target priority can be a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, no, there's like a million things rushing through your head, and like, okay, there's 4 people in front of me, but they're all in different corners, and they're all moving, and they're all throwing clams, and specials are coming out. I'm being targeted by Azu. It's just absolutely crazy, and it's, no surprise.
Do you shoot Zuka? Do you shoot the power clam? What do you do?
Yeah. It's insane. Do I throw my weight breaker out or not? Do I wait? Do I not? Do I take the time? It's absolutely insane. But yeah, very different game there. It was Smoothie who was taking the lead, or taking control and just not giving it up that entire game. But we're gonna go to Splatzone's Brightwater Springs and see how the final act of the Cherry Limeade Smoothie SOS date goes.
Oh yeah, a lot of back to more traditional things on the side of Limeade. Krim back on those Gloogs and Pika on to the Wiper. I feel like this game will go over extremely quickly with maybe 1 or 2 recaps. That's my overarching suspicion between these two teams. Wait for me to be proven wrong.
I mean, Limeade already has a very small lead, taking the control for just a second, and it looks like they're going to continue to hold, but with a lot of specials going out, it looks like it might not be held for long, but Limeade has a ton of specials of their own, and just narrowly avoids their small, but, I mean, noteworthy, I guess, lead being taken away from them.
Yeah, this is going to be Limeade trying to push up Krim and Pika. They're both probably going to go down in the scenario. Pika's actually able to stay alive with the help of support. Haya with that crap pick is going to 100% get shut down by Pika. Oh, yes. Yep, sorry, didn't come down to curse Pika. There we go. All good. All good.
Yeah, and Cherry Limeade continues their hold. They know exactly when to go and exactly when to bow. They haven't been going out all too much. Krim over here on, the classic glue is going to be absolutely tearing it up. And Cherry Limeade moving forward and just getting a lot of value out of the advantages that they've had. They're already down to 30. We're less than a minute and a half into this game, and it's looking pretty rough for Smoothie right now.
Yeah, those Tri-Strikes are out. The Booyah Bomb is out. Banana's trying to go in, trying to find Lux. Lux is able to take them out. There is going to be more shots on the ground on that zone for Smoothie. They're trying to find their way, but that Sprinkler doing too much with the help of Lily. Jumps are in for Smoothie, but can they hold on to the zone? Can they grab it? And they do. They sneak it away from Cherry Limeade as soon as Lux has to go back in the ink and refill.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for Cherry Limeade. You'd never want to not get the KO here. A little bit of a dance going on. A romantic slow dance to end the night. As
Bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling with the... I think that was BM from Bowling. Loving the heavy going off in the 1v1 with a Splash-O-Matic at close range.
Yeah, definitely interesting over there, but this, the heavy, best weapon in the game, by a mile, and that's not biased, taking that 1v1, and already we're seeing Smoothie try to regroup. They're all 4 members up, but they're going to be disrupted by that tri-strike, by members getting picked off, and Cherry Limeade, despite having a little bit of a disadvantage, managed to hold on to the zone.
Oh my goodness, and we're getting down into the final points here because there's no penalty on the side of Cherry Limeade. Pika is up into the spawn. Lux is trying to paint the zone. Lily and Grimmer on the zone, and Blue's the last one there. Smoothie not able to paint it, and Cherry Limeade bounce back after dropping game 2 to take this date on Brine Waters Springs to their advantage and ride the momentum all the way to finals.
Yeah, I'm sure it was very romantic for all involved, but Cherry Limeade proving that they are the better partner here.
Tune in next time on the what is a good name for a Spooky Dating show?
Huh. Oh, you got me scratching my chin here.
I don't have any. I don't have one.
We'll think of one later. Yes. That's going to the drawing board though.
They also win the battle. They win the battle of the drinks as well. And with that, that's 2 Cherry Limeade sets, 1 on stream. Congratulations to them. And I know Smoothie will be back next week, better than ever. But with that, we will be taking a little bit of a break while we wait for the other side of Winners Bracket to catch up to Grands. And with that, do you have anything else to say before we throw to break?
Now we'll just see Cherry Limeade have a good time again. I'm excited. Stay tuned for that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grand Finals of SOS. We are here. We are here. Duckies, Cherry Limeade, Weef. What do you got for us between these two teams?
We've been watching Cherry Limeade, you know, through sipping back and leaning back and sipping on a little tropical coconut, to going on a wonderful date with Smoothie, which ended very romantically, and the side of Cherry Limeade's favor. I'm sure Smoothie was heartbroken. But now we're seeing them here in Grand Finals, duking it out for first place against Duckies, who consists of Oscar, Drifty, Bandit, Henry, and Red Shell. Tempest Light, basically, from what I understand.
Yeah, I see that. I 100% see that. And then yeah, we have Cherry Limeade, the Cherry Luxade? Is that what it would be?
I think that's an acceptable portmanteau.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, they've been collecting the drinks. Added some coconut to their smoothie and made a new drink in Limeade. Well, all I know is that Pika's been absolutely slaying off with that Tacticooler, and whatever drinks they are collecting, whatever juice they're giving to their teammates, they've been slaying out. And Rainmaker Undertow, last time that we saw Limeade play, was insanely one-sided. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah.
Smoothie broke a checkpoint, and that's about all they did.
Yeah, so I mean, they're probably feeling pretty confident and comfortable on this map, considering, you know, Smoothie's a great team, and they managed to do really well against them. And so, I mean, you know, definitely not underestimating your opponent at all, but you're also like, well, we got this in the bag, and we'll see if they have it in the bag, and we'll see if they're changing up their comp from last time, or if they're gonna just stick with it.
No, it looks like they will be sticking with the same comp that they had last time. Not surprising at all, see Red Shell on that brush and see Bandit on that Charger. This is really not, both these teams, I feel like they're playing what they've been playing, and they're gonna rock out with it. We know what they're good at.
Yeah, and notably both of these teams are very good at running very fun to watch weapon comps. We only see a single crab on the field, which I mean we see right now, but already Cherry Limeade opts to just ignore it. It is gonna, ignoring it does go to their detriment though. You can't exactly ignore the fact that it exists when it can just explode shot you, unfortunately. But Cherry Limeade still, I mean, not a whole ton of control. I mean, actually, never mind, Pika was up there the entire time, I'm sure, fragging out and continuing to frag out. That is gonna be Cherry Limeade getting wiped out, but they, I mean, that was a small push at least.
Yeah, it's something. 87, it's
Points on the
it
board.
is a number. Not really good in Splatoon, but if you face it in hockey, good luck against one of the best in the game.
I don't get that reference, but I will laugh and pretend that I did. Anyway, we see Duckies 3 down. It is notably that Crab Tank is the member that's up though, so that does pose a little bit of a threat, but not enough to stop Cherry Limeade from getting that check.
Well, I guess no hockey reference for the Squids on Ice go-to person. That's going to be another wipeout coming out against Cherry Limeade. They've gotten at least 2 pushes, but at the cost of wipeouts, it's a little bit of a dangerous strategy to go to because you completely give up all of mid when you get wiped out like that.
Yeah, super unfortunate. Looks like Duckies is making the best of it over here. Bandit doing what they do best and getting a ton of picks, and that's going to be Cherry Limeade wiped out again. Henry on that shot, moving up so fast here. And we're going to see, it looks like Duckies is going to get the check of their own if Bandit can stop fumbling a little bit on that Rainmaker checkpoint.
Yeah, we're going to see Pika on this grading. The last line of defense, the last one that's going to be able to stop this. Can they get the shots done? Yes, Pika gets one. That's the most important spot that they've gotten all day. It's going to slow down the Rainmaker for just enough to hopefully get Lily, Lux, and Krim in position to shut down this Rainmaker. The Rainmaker will be stopped at 26. Not as deep as it could have been for Duckies, but at least at 26 is a strong push.
Yeah, that's certainly something. You can't exactly sit back and relax, but you can ease the pressure a little bit. Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay, that could have been incredibly dangerous, and now it looks like that finally, you know, kind of made Cherry Limeade start actually pushing forward with the Rainmaker and not risking it and getting pushed up again. Looks like Krim over here on the 96 is fishing for some picks, getting a lot of single shots but not able to find anything. And looks like there are 2 members of Duckies over there in that corner that they didn't quite realize. One of them is gonna go down. What the heck?
Oh, what a double pierce from the Zuka! And what a crazy connection!
Yeah, absolutely. But Lux gets the pick on Henry, stopping them in their tracks, and it looks like Cherry Limeade is starting to get a bit of mid control back and can maybe start thinking about going for a push here if they can stop Bandit from sniping their entire team.
Yeah, Bandit doesn't usually miss too many shots and finds Pika there. I saw one miss, but that's about all I've seen all game. I'm not gonna lie, Bandit's one of the craziest chargers, and that's just don't have the range for that one yet, Bandit.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I mean Ducky's opting to push the Rainmaker yet again. They are down a player, but doesn't really matter if they can just take it and stall it in mid here. Pika going for the kind of a hero play there, really wanting to get that pick, but going down, and Krim is finally going to stop that with the Kraken over there. But not much has happened here. Cherry Limeade doesn't have a ton of time left. There's only a minute left on the board to make their push all the way down to 26.
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna be hard for them. I do have to say, just find really clean shots. The burst bomb coming in clutch as well for that advantage. Lux is probably gonna go down, and yeah, they're gone. There is gonna be some more spots on the ground for Cherry Limeade, but Krim being stuck in a corner with a 96 cal is gonna be very dangerous. Pika kind of want to stay alive in the situation. Can't fall Drifter, and there's just not much time left, and Lily running forward like that, it can't help to feel, but there's a little bit of panic in BC.
yeah, it's kind of starting to get real scrappy here. They just have to make something happen in these last 30 seconds to get themselves a chance to even pick up the Rainmaker. Not even necessarily do well with it, just did pick it up. Now though, with 2 members down on the side of Duckies, it looks like they might get that chance, but with Bandit still up, all bets are off. They can pull off some crazy things here. Drifty is still over there. It doesn't get it down in a trade, but they have 10 seconds left to set themselves up as best they can for this overtime scenario.
Henry, yeah, that's it. Lux just goes down. Krim's not going to be able to pop that Rainmaker in time. Cherry Limeade dropped the first game. Duckies, they proved that they know this map. They proved that they can play with Limeade on a map which Limeade made mincemeat out of against Smoothie.
That's not this map. We're playing on Undertow.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they made Moray out of Smoothie. How about
they
that
made
one?
Undertow Spillway out of Smoothie. And now though, it is a change of pace. We have seen Cherry Limeade dominate on Inkblot, but that was Inkblot Tower, not Inkblot Clams. And we have seen them fumble the bag on Clams quite a few times tonight.
Oh, that top rim and that Scorch game. Yeah, I'm smelling a Duckies 2-0 lead right now. We are in best of 5 territory, as that's why we have 5 maps on our screen at the moment. But I feel like Duckies could get an easy 2-0 lead here. That would be difficult for London because I'm looking at Sturgeon, I'm looking at Eeltail, and I'm looking at Bandit, and I'm like, what are your answers if we get that far into the series?
Yeah, it's you don't want to be staring down that charger on Eeltail. It's not a good feeling.
No, like that map, Eeltail was made for the wall for the Zed Fry. This Zakog Firefin Charger is just it's so good. And it's also so good on Clamblitz here on Inkblot. I feel like it's just
a good weapon.
Like these 5 maps that are here that are on our screen are just Bandit Paradise. It could feel like.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Cherry Limeade, if they are going to take this set back, they will have to go to Eeltail. Like, that's unavoidable if they get that far, so they need this Inkblot game. They do. They desperately need the Inkblot game. So, yeah, Rainmaker Surgeon, that's a rough map right there.
No, it's... I feel like they have... If Limeade wants to win this set, they have to win the next 2. They truly did have to win the next 2. They should have won the first one, but they didn't have the right game plan. It's going to be so difficult here because we just haven't seen a good Clamlith map out of them. And going up against a Charger with a heavy and Red Shell?
Hello? They're cooking. They're cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
We're rolling with it already. Beacons being placed down. Red Shell.
How can you just roll with this? How do you roll with this? How do you just like get up and say, sure, let's commentate this after seeing that call?
That's the only way I can keep sane in these trying times. Bandit already doing what Bandit does best and getting some nice picks and allowing their team to move and allowing their very odd team to move in. Red Shell making the sploosh work, being a rat, cutting off Lux's escape options so that they're just going down. It does go down, but I mean, paved the way for their team to get 3 down on Cherry Limeade and get set up for a very good hold of Cherry Limeade's plot here.
Yeah, there's those Super Chumps and Bandits, the first one in, gonna get taken out by Krim on that Kraken. Does try and find that machine, but they are going to be backing off a bit. Red Shell's gonna try and find some more clams into the basket, but they will be going down. No more clams besides the power thrown in by Bandit. But good defense on the side of Cherry Lime.
Yeah. Or maybe the Zap and the Sploosh are maybe struggling on offense. So it's hard to tell at least this early. And Red Shell though, gonna go in just be passive. What? Huh?
Cooking.
Question. I mean, I'm all here for it. This is unnecessarily entertaining as we go in.
True.
Looks like the Kraken is going to be trying to pave a way in. So is the Tri-Strikes before they get taken down. Henry, though, on the machine gets taken down as well. It's a big scrap fest in mid, and Cherry Limeade is kind of struggling to get any momentum going here. I mean, Bandit is just so excellent at stopping it, and I mean, I would say the other members too, but with what they're cooking, I'm not sure.
Bro, why does this look like all of my solo queue matches ever? Like,
You know, you're right.
this is SOS Great White Finals. What? Why is this solo queue? Like, why are there fights happening left side, right side of the map? People going down left, right, and center. Maybe Limeade gets a push here? I don't know. Grim's trying to say this way to their teammates to get clams in, and there we go. Finally, the basket gets dunked, broken for Limeade. Grim's got that Kraken going. Clam. Where's that power clam going on Ducky?
What? Somebody's jumping. Somebody's being real interesting, and I'm betting it's Red. I'm betting it's Red Shell. With the beacons just pulling off some real sneaky plays. But I mean, as of right now, Cherry Limeade does hold a tentative lead. It's not solid, but I mean, it's solo queue. I mean, are we sure that Boeing didn't accidentally queue into solo queue?
Yeah, please, Boeing. Is this open? I don't know. This doesn't feel real to me. Does everyone have Elias's for some reason in an open? I think Ducky's finally, they're going with the push. They got Tri-Strikes, everything out, Super Chumps, but they lost their powers. They lost their powers. There's a bit of flank. Pika goes in and gets 3? Oh, I can't. I'm done. GG.
What are they putting in those tacticalers, man? It's crazy. Bandit might be caught out here. Yes, Bandit goes down, which I mean is pretty big for the rest of Cherry Limeade. Red Shell, though, placing down beacons and doing Red Shell things.
Bro, my EVP teammates have more coordination than this. What's going on?
What? Red Shell, what do you do? What?
What? Is that just Oh, that's recon. That's reconnaissance.
Oh, I mean, you could have just pressed the X button once, but I mean, I see what you're cooking there, I guess.
Well, true.
What? It's a minute in, and it looks like Cherry Limeade's going to push again. They're going to get the single power clam in, and with 2 teammates down, it doesn't look like they're going to get much follow-up into that, and so now they have a lead of 65. I mean, their lead's down to 65, I guess.
Yeah.
I think am I hallucinating? Like, am I imagining this?
I don't know. I don't even know what's happening. Grim's gonna try and pop this Kraken, does get it off, and the power climb will make it into the basket. Grim's trying to slow down this push at all possible costs. The Super Chumps are in, just getting Henry left alive with that machine. 46 on the clock. The power climb is still, the PD climb is still ready for Duckies, but they did get rid of that big, or at least some of their penalties, so one more power climb will actually win them the game.
Looks like Lily over there does get collapsed on by 2 of the members of Duckies. And Red Shell, I think, just planning to beacon down. Taking fights, the swoosh going down. Bandit's moving up. You know, the only thing that makes this not feel like a C- match, a C- clams match, is the fact that the sniper is actually hitting the shots. And, you know, I don't know, we might see an overtime lead switch here if Duckies plays their cards right. We're seeing specials go out. We're seeing them. They're starting to push up onto the pot. Tri-Strikes going out. They only have, you know, 15 or so seconds left, and they do go 2 down here. Pika is going to just be sharking up there on the pike, getting the last member, and I don't think the Charger is very good, but the Charger can't do much by itself. Looks like this game is going to be over.
Yeah.
Cherry Limeade taking it, I guess, ending their Clams curse?
Did Duckies just end the Clams curse for Cherry Limeade, or did Cherry Limeade end it themselves? Because I feel like it was a mix of both. I feel like it was a mix of Duckies burning what was in the oven and Cherry Limeade taking what they had and running with it. Because, not gonna lie, the backline matchup went as expected for a Charger versus a Heavy.
Yeah, somebody in chat was speculated that Red Shell misclicked, but like I don't think that's what happened. I think they're just incredibly
What?
perked up. Which I mean, misclick on a sploosh, but like I think we're just having a collective fever dream here, to be honest. I think that's more likely. But we'll see
It's
if
not even possible for me. I haven't even bought the sploosh. That thing is still. Just leave it in the shop.
leave it be, dig it, bury it 6 feet under in an unmarked grave in the middle of Yosemite National Park or something. I don't know.
Hey, yo.
But we'll see if this continues to be one of the weirdest sets I've ever casted as we go on to Slot Zone's Mega Mart.
Yeah, something normal, I guess. I thought those other maps that we had before were normal, but Zones Mako's about as normal Splatoon 2 as you can get. I don't think we're gonna have Ink Armor here. I know we aren't gonna have Ink Armor. No, I don't count Spot.
I mean, with what these teams have been running, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they made it happen.
What? Would everybody just put in the Splatoon 2 cartridge and see over there? Hopefully it's all good, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna see like the Splatoon 1V Junior come out somehow.
Splatoon 1? Everybody
No,
stop
Splatoon 2. I meant to say Splatoon 2. It's getting to me. It's getting to me.
Yo. No, we're in Splatoon 3. Yep, we've got
Okay.
banners and
Oh,
we're on the
okay.
we're on the high ground. We're not on the ground here.
Awesome.
Oh, half normal comp.
Oh yeah, we see the chumps return. I mean, I can see the benefit here on the Splat Zones map. You can a lot of area denial or something like that is what I would say. And if I wasn't hallucinating right now, but zones being contested, we see Lux return once again to the Heavy, making things work. Red Shell goes down on the brush, meaning that is going to pave the way for Pika to take their stack over there. Already, they're down to 85 points, but with 3 members down and specials coming out left and right, doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold that for much longer, and they get wiped.
Yeah, Blowing, if you have a quick sec, can you just check to see if Lux has Object Shredder on that Heavy? No. So that Wavebreaker actually won't be able to one-shot these Super Chumps when they are down on the ground. You need the Object Shredder to make that happen. So that's a little bit of an advantage for Drifter there. Drifty there.
Specials are coming down. Cherry Limeade trying to take the zone back here. Duckies is getting scarily low here. All the way down to 55 it's a little bit scary. It's not the scariest thing in the world, but Cherry Limeade does manage to take it back. And 2 down on Duckies means that once again, they're going to start pushing their way in. Krim gets another pick. Looks like they're going to get set up here and try not to let go for as long as they can. Already Lux on that right stack, putting out a lot of pressure. You love to see a Heavy winning.
Yeah, good shots, but Bandit finds an even better shot. We gotta see that lead swap over for Cherry Limeade as it does. Bandit's gonna try and find Lux on the top left. Lux smartly backs away, but Pika tries to go in for Bandit, gets called out for it. The Tri-Strike is going into zone with those Super Chumps and that Zipcaster. Wavebreaker is down, upping that zone. Krim dancing through it with a Kraken, trying to find Henry or somebody else. And they are able to find Drifter in that situation. Bandit falls as well. Lux is stuck in a corner underneath the glass. Red Shell falls on this right side. Cherry Limeade's able to recap that zone.
An unfortunate penalty, an unfortunate little detour on their path to KOing, but I mean, they were able to scrape it back out in the end. Soda going out on the field, gonna enable Pika to do some more crack things. Already they're behind Duckies here.
What?
Let's see if they get the pick. They're gonna get the pick on Bandit. Okay, well, that's one. Oh, unfortunately ended, but I mean, that pick on Bandit, as we've said, is huge. If you can get the Charger off the field, especially a Charger as good and as threatening as Bandit is off the field, like, you're gonna have a good time. Zipcaster going out, trying to pick off the Heavy,
So good!
Oh.
So good out of Red Shell. Know exactly where they're gonna land, though. Not gonna be able to be punished by that. just because of the tactical of their teammate. Actually, hold up. They did get punished. Crimson in a corner. Yeah, they're going to get wide swung by that Anzap, the Ferrari peak.
Yeah, a fantastic, but looks like Duckies is back on the up and up. They're about 10 points away from getting that lead swapped back to their side, and Cherry Limeade is still in their spawn. Specials are going to be coming out to try to help them, but looks like Drifty over there does get some picks. And now it's really, the pressure is on. 20 points left, the lead has flopped, but Krim is going to be on the zone with that Kraken. And the zone's gonna flip. They have a second chance at this. They have a minute and a half to make it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big coming out of Krim and Pika. Able to take out that Sasha on the right side and Krim with that Kraken to get 2. Bandit on the left side glass is gonna try and look for some picks on Lily, on Krim as well. Tacticalers on that right. Like he's trying to make their way in. This penalty is going down really quickly. Red Shell's gonna be going out on that Zipcaster. Gonna try and see Krim, who's on this glass, gets them taken out. Pika's also gone. Lily's on zone, able to protect it for long enough. Can they get more spots? They get 3. Can Lex hold on? No! The Booyah Bomb is just too much and not enough paint in that heavy spotling barrel.
But Lux is absolutely refusing to let, back off there. They do not know the meaning of holding backwards or backing off, and unfortunately they do go down, but that does buy their team a little bit of time. Unfortunately, though, Cherry Limeade's still 3 down. There's only a minute left and about 30 points left on the board, which means about 15 seconds left until Duckies does KO.
Yeah, Duckies, they're looking mighty fine to get this knockout. With Red Shell especially rolling out underneath the zone. Cherry Limeade, they can't really wait on too many specials. They have that Tri-Strike out. It's going to be going down. Lux is falling. Both backlines gone. Cap for Limeade. Penalty applied. 2 gone for both sides. Chumps are out. Wavebreaker's out. Pika finds a trade. It's just going to be Krim versus Henry. That Booyah Bomb versus that Kraken. The Kraken's going to fall inside of it. And that's in the final 20, just over final 20 seconds. Final fight territory now.
But yeah, Cherry Limeade's still up. I mean, now that they're all respawning, they're going to be starting to go back into mid and just painting the zone and trying to get any picks that they can. Tri-Strike's going to come out desperately. Looks like they captured the zone, but if they can't hold it in these last few seconds, it's going to be over. And unfortunately, a Kraken can't paint the zone on its own. That's going to be game 3 going to Duckies.
Yeah, Duckies, they come up clutch after really just kind of botching that Clambless Inkblot game, but showing off that they're still, like, they won that first game fair and square. Really super strong team. And Red Shell, gotta say, the brush is just better. The brush is just better.
Yeah, you don't have to force yourself to be quirky just for fun. You can brush Octobrush on its own. It's still a very unique, very interesting weapon to watch. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that again. Yeah. I don't think I can mentally take it.
No. I don't think I can take instead of using Zipcaster, I'm going to use a beacon strat. I don't think I can take that.
It's terrifying. It's absolutely horrific. I think that's going to be in my next therapy session. Seeing that.
Anyway, here we go. Eeltail Alley Tower Control. We talked about this earlier. We talked about this before we started that Clamblitz game where Cherry Limeade won. We were saying, if we get here, this is super favored, not towards Duckies per se, more just towards Bandit alone. Just Bandit themselves. It's protect Bandit, keep Bandit alive, let Bandit snipe. Just let Bandit steal the game, steal the tournament. Let them be a thief, let them be a bandit.
I've been mentioning Bandit a lot, but that's not because like the rest of their teammates are bad or anything, just because a good backline player makes me blush a little bit. And just watching on stream just a sniper get shot after shot after shot is so satisfying to watch. But this is gonna be another one of those maps where keep a close eye on them and what they're doing, because they're going to control the game. Like, the game is going to basically revolve around them when they're up, when they're down, when they're all around. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very difficult, I feel, for Cherry Limeade to come out on top on this. They're gonna have to find their way, and we are gonna be seeing Drifty on that 96 gal, following up with Krim to go for that 96 gal Kraken 1v1 on tower, which actually is pretty funny.
It's incredibly hilarious. If you're, it's very funny, but It looks like it's a pretty even fight minute, and Cherry Limeade is going to opt to play just as fast as they can, try to displace the Charger as much as possible. Their game plan is just make it so where Bandit cannot play the game, because if they let them play the game, it's over. And already, though, they are starting to approach that second checkpoint there, the first checkpoint that actually matters, and that isn't just a welcome mat.
What?
Looks like they're gonna make it, though.
Yeah, they got through the second checkpoint, which is all good and dandy. But Bandit got away with 2 there. It's putting a really big dent in Cherry Limeade. Drifty's able to come up with another spot onto that tower. Those Tactical Cooler buff is up online, so Limeade will be able to back in mid and defend this if Drifty doesn't just drop on Crim with some good 96 cal shots.
But of course, 96 cal is its authentic self and misses, because
Yup.
of course it does. But the Kraken does not miss, and the Kraken gets Pika, and the Kraken is going for, or we're seeing the Kraken 1v1, that it was ever so favorable for a very short period of time, but it was there. Crim trying to get Bandit out of the way, trying to get any picks that they can to disrupt Ducky's defenses. As Ducky's, they have a great shot right here at getting a very nice push of their own, and if they can potentially, I would not be surprised if they snowball this into a lead. They're getting the specials. The Tri-Strike's coming out. They have Kraken ready. They have the Zipcaster ready. They're getting the picks. It's not looking good for Cherry Limeade.
Oh
they
my
have a very
goodness.
short. Oh my God, Drifty.
Drifty's making absolute work out of Limeade. The second checkpoint is gone. Bandit's got jump ins with Red Shell. The Kraken's going to be able to come on tower very shortly. We got the Crab out, the Tri-Strike's out. This is looking insane. I don't think Limeade's got really much of a hold. Lily's gone. Pika's gone. Just Lux. Lux is going to have to defend as we see Crim go to tower. Crim's going to try and go to tower. Lux gets a fadeaway shot on Henry. And there we go. Crim comes up clutch and sends the tower away, able to defend that third checkpoint.
And now Crim, manages to get the pick on Bandit, which is huge, but does go down to Drifty. Cherry Limeade is forced back onto defense, but they bought themselves a good bit of time here. Tri-Strike's gonna go out, just trying to do anything that they can, getting their specials and gathering their resources just to break out of this hold here that Ducky's has established.
Yeah, my goodness, and oh my goodness, Bandit, your snipe, those snipes are just kind of unreal. That super jump is luckily too far. My gosh, you so I don't know the PG way of saying that. You know, big balls for jumping in front of a Charger like that.
Absolutely. We get it's like a PG movie where we can say that like once.
Yeah, that's it.
But
That's
I
all
don't know,
got.
with how it went earlier, we might be approaching that PG-13, but it's looking real scary for Limeade again. The Tri-Sticks are gonna come out and stall the tower for just a little bit longer, but approach
There it is,
my
there it
God.
is.
There it is.
It's art, it is tower control. Back in Splatoon 1, the Krakens, they're on tower. Let's just say dating.
It looks like a cartoon fight where like all the limbs are sticking out and just a big cloud of dust. I mean, that's basically what's happened. But oh my God, look at the position that Bandit is in. You can't defend against that. You try to peek with a heavy against that, and that's a left peek. You can't even hide most of your body there. You have to peek all the way out. They're just trying to throw their wave breaker out, and they're just gonna be forced out of play by these Tri-Strikes. Basically, nothing they can do here. It's such a hard spot when you're being stared at like a Charger like that, and when the other side is also being tested. Still, though, Lux is managing to survive, and Crim is going to chase Bandit off and buy them yet more time, but they still only have 2 up. And Ducky's is just doing such a good job at holding the tower in Cherry Limeade's side of the map.
Yeah, it feels like Cherry Limeade, they only get to move when Crim has Kraken. If Crim doesn't have Kraken, Cherry Limeade has not been able to move. Luckily now, they are able to seem to move around a bit because Bandit is gone. Lux has got a lot more free mobility and a lot more reign of terror, but that only lasts for, I want to say, 10 seconds before Bandit's back, and I believe Bandit hit that shot.
Yeah, God, this is looking very, very rough for Cherry Limeade, especially with Pika going down there. Look how blue, or not, that's not blue, that is purple.
Blue.
That is purple. Look how purple mid is. It's looking very, very rough, and unless they can pull something out in these last 10 seconds, it's looking like the game is very, very solid in the favor of Duckies. The tower gets controlled for just a second, but that's going to be a wipe that ends this SOS.
SOS 102 will be going to Duckies in a 3-1 fashion. Congratulations, Duckies. They played so well and they played so hard. That last game we talked about it so much, how it was going to be Bandit's Paradise, and I can't help to say, but that's what it completely felt like it was. It felt like we got to this game, Limey didn't have a map to give, and that was it. Duckies just looked... The other members, they were just there along for Bandit's ride. That's what it truly felt like.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I mean, but like really, we saw there, like, we saw once Bandit got on that bridge, it was over. There was nothing the Heavy could do. There was nothing anyone could do. You can't approach it. You can, but it takes so much resources that by the time that you get them out, they were just Duckies just able to bounce right back because Cherry Limey didn't have the resources to push any further. It's absolutely crazy, but very, very well played from Duckies there. Tempest light, but really Bandit doing a lot of the work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can't help to think what this set would have been if we would have gone a lot closer if Lux had the ability to swap off to another Heavy. Nogami, hear my cries. Please give us a new, like, anything Splatling kit other than Mini, which has gotten a kit. For the sanity of all human beings, not Nautilus yet. Wait on that, because the game would be over when Nautilus gets missiles or something. But give Heavy something good. Don't give it trash. Give it like Splash Roll, Killer Whale, or something. I don't know.
Splattershot Jr. and Splattershot are gonna get third kits before we see a Heavy second kit.
Bro, I want bow. I want a bow. I want a Heavy. I've been playing bow.
So true.
Like, oh, I've waited. I've gotten one new backline kit. That's all I've gotten, and it was this fire thing. Which is awesome, but you know, anyway.
I don't even play Charger. It's
it's rough over there.
I'm starving. It's like the GIF of the Disney GIF of, like, I think it was it was Donald, like, cutting off the slice of bread, and it's like a see-through thin. That's me. Yep. That's how I'm eating right now with these new kits. Although I do play 96 cal, so I can't play too hard.
I was gonna say, but I'm not complaining about 96 cal. No, I'm thoroughly enjoying them. Oh, Nogami, hear our prayer. But congratulations so much to Duckies. While we are stalling for time and everyone is probably leaving and going to some other Splatoon stream, we should probably shout ourselves out so the people can hear us. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on both Twitter and Twitch at WeefSlider. I do stream occasionally. It's a good time. Genie, where can we find you?
The lovely people can find me. I'm gonna shout out my Twitch today. That is GEENIE7. Yes, Genie7. I've been streaming on Twitch actually 2 to 3 days a week, so you want to follow me there and hit that little bell so you notify when I go live. I was live this morning. I played 3 hours of Salmon Run before I lost my mind because 14 flyfish spawned and my teammates didn't kill any of them. Well, they killed 2 of them. Okay, you'll see that if you look at my Twitter. That's Genie7 with an underscore on it. Anyway,
crazy.
Shoutouts to Bowling. Shoutouts to the TOs and everybody for SOS. I gotta give a shout out to my lovely, most to the normal time commentator duo, Skep. This is the first time I've seen you run the SOS when I'm not at school. And my gosh, we are ending this before midnight.
That's crazy.
Yep. And the rest of the TOs, yep. But yeah, with that Weef, it was so much fun commenting with you today, because it's normally, you know, I guess next time for us, we're gonna have to do is it gonna be Broken Pinky Skep? Is that gonna be the duo?
Oh, that's cursed. That's cursed. Don't say that. I don't know. Bad vibes. Oh, I feel like that's putting like raw sodium and water together. I feel like it'll explode.
Okay. Before we cook up anything terrible, Bowling should end stream and raid somebody. I don't know who we're raiding.
Yeah, no, we're kind of getting off on a tangent here. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye bye.
We'll see y'all next time.